what we do here is go back.
And here we go. Hopefully it's working. You never know. Bloopers all round. Good evening, Mike here, Mike's Unboxing Reviews and How To. That was Cav's phone. Hopefully it's all working. Can you see me and or hear me? Is it working? And yes, before you say, yes, I know I haven't had a shave again. I'm a terrible person. Lights, camera, disco. Yep, everything, yeah, that's on, keyboard's on, that's on. I've got that connected. I think everything's working. I've been running around like a lunatic trying to get this all set up. I've had a lot of time to do it, but as per usual, these things happen. And I actually haven't even disconnected my PC ready to start working on yet. And potentially I'm going to have to add another table to our existing setup to enable me to get the PC actually on the desk, which is something which I only just considered. And luckily we do have another table, another one of these IKEA tables. I'm not even sure what tables these are. I think they're lac, or I don't know what they are. They're 60 centimeter by 120 centimeter desks that you put your own legs on. And they're about 15 quid from IKEA, very cheap. Anyway, hopefully, hopefully everything is good. That's working. Let's try the overhead camera. Make sure that is working. And oh god, no, it's doing the usual thing where it's a little bit blurry. Right, let's kill the stream a minute, and we'll try that again. And there we go. That's a little bit better. Hopefully. And hopefully now the main camera is working as well. And it's nice and blur friendly. Excellent stuff. Whoo! There we go. Yeah, thanks guys for the super chats which have come in. If I just check viewer activity, where are we? And oh, why does that not want to scroll now? Why is there always something that goes wrong? I can't even see who it's from. Let's see if I can scroll back up through the chat. So, oh god, there's loads of yellow things. Excellent stuff. Mick Woods was in there first of all with a £10 super chat. Says Saturday night, hi everybody. Thank you, Mick. Lucky Man has also renewed his membership. Been a member now for 16 months. Thank you very much, Lucky Man. MSI approved. Most call this sausage finger slice time mods. Yes, you're not far wrong there. Hopefully the digits will remain intact through this. And O'Reilly's also renewed his membership as well. He's been a member for 20 months.
It's a message, isn't it?
Blimey. And there's also a €10 super chat from our good friend Stuart Cleary. Says, oops, I forgot to set the disco ball off with a super chat. I can't reach. Just imagine that flashing in. Kath will do it now, she's getting up.
I've got to get up and do it.
And Skystalker is actually, he's getting into his quarter century. He's now been a member for 25 months. Wow. Thank you very much. Thank you all of you. Awesome stuff. And thank you all for joining us on this Saturday evening. And hopefully it won't be too traumatic for you. It probably will be for me. The reason being is because basically this week has been an absolute rubbish fest. I was going to say something else, but I won't. I'll try and keep it a little bit YouTube friendly. It's bloody freezing. I've still got my coat on. I just realised that. I'm going to hide away. Just pretend I'm not here. I'm going to go emo.
But we did have one exciting thing happen.
We did?
You found in the vacuum.
What?
A cat whisker.
Oh yeah.
For truck fan.
For truck fan, before you ask, yes, this week we did find something interesting in the vacuum cleaner, and it was an extra long cat's whisker.
Or a guitar string for a mouse.
that was basically the highlight of the week, unfortunately.
You did tell me to remind you to tell you.
In the Hoover, yes, it was. Right, let me grab my drink. I think I've swallowed like a June bug or something. Not that we have those over here, but let's grab it anyway. Have a little slurp there. Nice cup of tea. Oh Christ, no, fell off the chair. Yeah, that'd be a good start, wouldn't it? So yeah, it's been one of those weeks. Who's with me? I'm gonna have to. I'm thinking I might even have to set a poll up actually for this one.
Oh, don't,
I know,
that's my
I
nose.
can't. I won't bother doing a poll because I think I know what the answer has been. Has anybody managed to get anything amazingly good value on Amazon Prime Day or Days? Both of them. I'll be honest with you, I find it absolutely shockingly bad. The only thing which was really worth getting was something that I actually already had, which was the Gigabyte B650MK, which we had a look at in last week's video, which cost me £139.99, which was then reduced on Amazon Prime Day down to £90. So I did a quick Amazon return on that and got a refund. I haven't replaced it yet, so I don't know what to replace it with. Oh dear, got indigestion. I ate my tea a little bit too fast as well. Oh.
And what did you have? And what did you learn?
I had a corned beef sandwich, and I never knew that corned beef wasn't made with corn. You get to a certain point in your life where you realise that, yeah, things aren't always what you assume them to be. I assumed that corned beef was beef with bits of kind of ground down corn, or kind of like flour. But apparently it's not. It's actually from peppercorns.
No.
No? What's the other one?
Salt.
Salt corn, sorry.
Corns
So yeah,
of salt.
you learn something new every day. So let's try and get this set up. I've got to turn off my PC a minute, so talk amongst yourselves. And actually, I need to work out, right, in this stream, I've got to do some things. I'm so badly prepared, it's ridiculous. So I've got a couple of these easy DIY fab GPU, what are they called? PCI Express Gen 4 riser cables. That's what I was looking for, riser cable. So I've got there, riser cable 200mm 90 degrees. And I've got this one here, PCI Express Gen 4 20cm 90 degrees. So I think that's the one I need. So we'll definitely be needing that one. Excellent. The other one must be a Gen 3, which I bought ages ago. Right, what else do I need? I need a power supply. Because I'm not entirely sure what power supply is actually in my own PC. But I wanted to change it out with one with white cables. So it's a very strong chance we will be sticking in the Thermaltake GFA3. I think it's GFA3, yeah, in snow, 1050 watt. I've got a sneaky suspicion the one that's in the rig already is either 850 or a 1000 watts. But I'm pretty sure it's a Thermaltake one, but I don't think it's a snow one. And I haven't looked inside my PC for ages, so I've been meaning to do that. Also, I have got in the magical box of tricks section, you move this out of the way, my milking stool. And in here, there is a USB module, which was kindly sent into the channel by Colin Hilton. Thank you very much, Colin. Oh, actually, as you guys know, I do my box inside a box Tetris thing. So in here, there should be a box for my power supply. So I can actually see which power supply it is rather than surprise myself when I take it actually out of the box. Oh yeah, so currently inside it is a Thermaltake Tough Power GF3 1000 watt. So we're going to take out the GF3 1000 watt, replace it with a GFA3 1050, which is in snow. So I'm going to leave that box out for now, because that will be needed. Do I put all this crap back in here yet? No. I'll put that to one side, and then I can do that shortly. Again, not particularly well organised, but for those of you that have been watching the channel for any amount of time even, you will know that organisation isn't necessarily my strong point when it comes to streams, or actually anything else for that matter. Okay.
Speedster has been a member for 25 months.
I know.
You did that one.
I did.
Paul Lamont's 25 months.
Paul Lamont is also 25 months. Bless you. Bless you all for your continued support. It's very, very kind of you. Right, let's clear that. I might have to have
Kieran says, did what?
I forgot to put that back in the box. Go on.
Kieran said, have you seen Dark? flashes, is it?
I haven't. Actually, Kieran, you'll be interested in this, and possibly one or two others of you will be. After almost exactly, well, it's actually almost 2 years to the day since we've had anything from our good friends at Antec. No, not that one. InWin. I always get these confused. We've actually got some contact back from InWin at long last. So we have got some new products coming in from InWin. Starting with, I think it's the MR36, which is the new 360mm AIO. So that is hopefully being shipped in to us from one of their European depots, and also some of their new fans as well. So looking out for that. I think I did ask for something else as well. I can't think what it was. But anyway, so yeah, InWin will be back in the house, which I'm very pleased to say. So that'll be great.
InWin for the...
InWin for the win. Exactly. So yeah, that's fantastic news. I might see if I can get the SR360 as well, which I think, or is it the BR? Is it SR or BR? Oh, Kieran says BR. Yeah, the BR36. That might be one that we try and get hold of at a later date. But we'll start off with this stuff, see what it's like. Their new fans do appear to be pretty decent. They look a lot like the Arctic P120 ARGB 0dB fans in terms of the actual kind of fan blade placement. So it's going to be actually interesting to see what they're all about.
Truck fan's got a question.
So that is, oh dear. Truck fan question, got a question about fans. Need to install the side fans on my Lian Li 011D Evo. Should I have the fans towards the rear chamber or towards the front chamber? I would generally say it's probably a good idea to have them pulling air in. Depends on the configuration, or if you're using an AIO in that position, or if you've got front fans as well. If you've got front fans, you probably want the side fans as intake, because otherwise the air is going to come straight in the front and then be pulled straight out the back, which is kind of pointless. But yeah, there's lots of things which can kind of make the airflow not work exactly as you'd expect it to.
And Welly Bob asks what's happening with your watch.
What is happening with my watch? Well, I am back to the Apple Watch as my OLEV's watch. It was actually quite funny. Someone was asking about the date, or what date it was last Sunday, and I was in the shop working away, and it's like, it's my mum's birthday, so I should know the date. And someone said, oh, it's the 7th today. It's like, no, it's the 8th surely, because it's my mum's birthday. I must know. It's got to be right. Looked at my watch and I was like, oh no, it says the 7th. Looked at the computer, no, it was definitely the 8th. So I went to pull the crown out to adjust the date, as you do, like for manual watches. You pull the crown out, twist it round to adjust the time and date, and I pulled the crown out and literally the whole thing just fell out of my hand. It's like, that's probably not a good look. So yeah, that is being returned. I've actually got the return label on the desk. Jason Woods gives £2 there, thank you very much. And he says, for being organised. Oh yeah, Welly Bob says it was me, I got the date wrong. Yeah, that was it, it's Welly Bob's fault, otherwise I'd have my other watch on. Right, let's, I'm going to take my coat off now because I think I'm sufficiently warmed up, and I think I've generated enough static as well. Let's go and put that in the hallway. I'm in the hallway now, you can probably notice because it sounds very, very echoey. Ow!
What are you doing?
Falling over stuff. Anyway, thank you for the super chat. Bless you. Ah, dear. Echo chamber. Yes, it is. So, yeah, no one's mentioned any deals that they got on Amazon Prime Day. So, yeah, I think that pretty much sums it up. I was extremely disappointed. There were, don't get me wrong, there was a couple of things which are okay, which, like the usual stuff, SSDs, RAM. There's the occasional deal. The motherboard deal was a particularly good one, £90 for the board we reviewed. I think that was excellent value for money. But yes, not ideal for other things like graphics cards. Obviously, there's no movement on those at all, as you'd expect. So yeah, we wait for the what's it called? Amazon, not Prime Day. What's the other one?
Friday.
Black Friday. Thank you, Kath. Right, just so you can see what I'm actually doing. If I swing this camera around a little bit, actually, if I just zoom out, probably get it in anyway. There we go. So there is my PC. So for those of you who haven't seen this shot before, yeah, there is my my PC over there. I don't think there's anything important on the desk which you shouldn't see. No. That is basically, that is it. That's the width of the room.
That's the Hoover for truck fan.
And there's yeah, truck fan. There you go. Get your rocks off on that bad boy.
Nothing in there. We empty every time.
Currently empty.
No point in keeping all your dust in the place.
So yeah, this is where I sit when I'm editing videos. Literally, there's my chair, because it's the only one small enough that I can actually sit in there and fit against this Kallax unit. So yeah.
And also Machiavelli.
So down there is my Lian Li PC, down in that bottom corner. So I'm going to zoom back in, because you don't want to see some fat, sweaty 40-something-year-old geezer struggling with his PC cables on my knees. So let's get that back right there. I'll carry on. And I'll turn my PC off and I'll get it disconnected so we can have a look. Go on, Kath, I am listening.
Machiavelli is... Oh, I've lost it now. Planning on building my first PC in this case. Would it be fine to use horizontally with air cooler?
Horizontally? What, flat? Like...
I'm assuming graphics card.
Oh, I don't know.
What are you thinking?
Well, I thought we meant the actual case itself, just have it to flat on the ground rather than being like stood up. Did he say specifically GPU?
No. Would it be fine to use horizontally with air cooler?
Oh,
I don't know. I'm assuming they meant...
Oh yeah, if you're using a graphics card,
You're putting yours vertically.
if you're mounting a graphics card in there horizontally, if you're putting a graphics card in the traditional way, i.e. in the PCI Express slot directly, then any air cooler is fine. If you're contemplating doing a vertical GPU mount, really, it's kind of, you have to use a water cooler or an extremely low profile unit. Otherwise it just simply will not fit. Now, am I going to get this on the table at the same time as all this kerfuffle?
Nick Barnes asks, is that a different Hoover?
Yeah, normally we've got the Tinico one, but that's upstairs in the bedroom now, because I make a lot of mess in the bedroom. Sadly, Bob's not in the chat, so he could have said something like that. Did you hear from Bob earlier?
Oh, you didn't tell me.
Oh God, this PC is so heavy. Right, let's zoom that out a little bit so we can actually try and...
No, the case flat on its back. So you were right.
I was right. Okay. Let's angle that down a little bit. So you can see, so yeah, if you're wanting to get this case but use it like that, then yeah, there's no reason why not. If you're going to put your monitor on the top of the glass, it's probably fine, I would have thought. But yeah, there's nothing actually on the other side which would be kind of problematic. Yeah, I don't see any problem with that at all, really. That should be absolutely fine. Okay. Slightly unusual way of doing it, but hey, your PC, do what you like with it.
No, I'm not putting anything on top of it.
All right, just put it on the side. Let's get rid of that glass out of the way so there's no reflecto porn, because Kath doesn't like that. Doesn't have any appreciation for that kind of goings on. So, is this actually visible? I can't see the other screen now, really. Oh, I can a bit.
Watch your blood pressure, Mike.
Yeah. Who said that?
Stuart Cleary.
Yeah. Oh, watch me dinner. I think my dinner wants to make a reappearance. So okay, so you can see that, okay?
Mouldy get going. Where is the case? And then, where are you?
Yeah. So anyway, this is the Lian Li 216, the Snow Edition or White Edition, however you want to refer to it. If you remember rightly, I still haven't painted that section up, which I need to really. It has got a weird stain there. I don't know how or why that happened. I think it might have had something to do with me using some isopropyl alcohol. It maybe got on there, but I'm pretty sure it actually came through from the factory like that. because it was a review sample, early review sample. But anyway. Some slight changes I've already made to this from when you guys would have last seen this. So we've now got a Thermaltake AIO, so it's a 360 in there now, whereas previously there was the Silentium, I think it was, from, got it here somewhere. Yeah, previously I was using this one from Silentium PC. This was the Navis F240 ARGB. And to be honest with you, there was nothing actually wrong with it. It worked well enough, but it's quite a powerful processor, and every now and then it does kind of tend to spike the temperatures a little bit. So I thought, well, I've got another 360 here. I'll stick it in, and to be fair, it does a fantastic job. Normally, the processor, when it's idling, around about 29-30 degrees Celsius in a kind of 22 to 24 degree room. So that is a couple of degrees above ambient, so that is excellent. Under full load, it still will hit sort of 80 C, which is fine for a 13900X or K. So yeah, it does what it needs to do. It's a little bit dusty. Could do a little bit of TLC, really, to be fair.
Hoover.
It could do with a hoovering.
See if we can get any PC parts in there.
Yeah. So what we're going to need to do is, first of all, I'm going to remove the graphics card, because I think that's going to make life a little bit easier. And also we need to take out the power supply, all that kind of stuff. There isn't really anything else particularly I need to do about this. I am going to be putting the USB add-on panel in here. So we're going to want to take off all the front section and gain a lot of access underneath there to do all the wiring. I'm also a little bit confused on how the addressable RGB controller works, because the fan's on the front of the Lian Li 216, which, God, this thing's so bloody heavy. Right, I'm going to move that cup of tea actually before, oh my God, I'm going to kill something. That didn't sound very good, did it? Anyway. Oh my goodness, look at the dirt on those fans. Praise the Lord, I'm only in 1080p. That is actually disgusting.
Come and look at mine if you want to see
I actually do need to clean that. That is not nice.
Poppy, can you borrow your tail?
Where is La Vacuum?
What is the weight of that case?
I'm not too sure, but when it's fully populated, it's got to be, I don't know, I want to say it's about somewhere between, I would say it's got to be at least 15 kilos. It's possibly more than that. Actually, I'm going to get the scales and I'm going to find out. The microphone may pop out or stop working, so talk amongst yourselves. Just going upstairs to the bedroom, up the stairs, and turn the landing light on. Into the bedroom. Microphone's still not working, but you might be able to, I don't know, so I'm going to keep on talking if you can, which is pretty much what I do all day at home anyway, just jibber jabber to myself. Got the scale, turn off the lights, save energy. This ain't Welly Bob's house. Okay, and there we go. And I'm back in the room. Oh God, I'm earning my keep tonight. These scales are filthy actually. Someone's been standing on these with dirty feet, I swear. Ah dear. Sky Stalker, this ain't Welly Bob's house. Welly Bob has got, actually was the microphone working all the way? Microphone was working, lol. Blimey, that's impressive. Jason says, did I say you was organised? I think I was wrong. Oh yeah, very much so. Right, this is, oh actually we want this in kilos, don't we? For the peoples. Actually I've got the side panel off now. And that is currently, well if you can just, like, I don't know if you can see that actually on camera. 14.2 kilos. And what did I say it was? 15?
15, I think.
That's pretty good for me. Oh yeah, top camera. Overhead. 14.2 kilos.
You're so delayed. Your little Brian must be so slow.
My brain's fucked, for want of a better word.
Keep it family friendly.
Yeah, I gave up on that. Let's put the reflecto panel on. Well, strangely, that hasn't made no difference. So
Lift it off and on again.
Oh God.
You tried lifting it on and off again.
Yeah. So the side panels added on 2 kilos. So 15.9. That was pretty good. The front panel isn't on at the moment, so that'll probably take it up to about 16 and a bit. The front panel isn't very heavy because it's mostly perforated.
This is I might be. So if I do it without my socks
So if I take off my socks and pants and maybe go for a pee and a dump
and have a shave.
and have a shave, those hairs got to weigh something.
And that was in the canteen at work.
Yeah. Yeah. It's all right when you're doing it at home. It's when you're doing it at work it's bad. Just there in your
Why
socks.
do they even have a weighing machine in the canteen?
Because it's the BBC and they're lunatics.
Oh, why? They had loads of places they could have put that.
Right, there we go. Ah, dear. Anyway, are you being entertained? Said someone in a film once. Right, I'm going to clean these in a minute. So, headphone users, seriously, I'll give you a couple of seconds. If you want to turn down your headsets, I would suggest doing it kind of now. So, 3, 2, 1.
What is the white case in the back?
It's the Series 500 from Thermaltake. Who's asked that?
Brew Baker.
Hey, Brew Baker.
Weigh it now after the dust. Dust don't weigh anything. You can eat as much as you like of that.
Right, I would say that this...
How much dust in the vacuum?
Yeah, not a lot. I would say something about these as well, which is a very common thing with all PCs these days, especially when you've got these type of opaque blades. They do have a tendency for discoloring. Now, in our instance, it's actually worse. Our PC, well, our PCs here, both are pretty much on the floor all the time. So,
I don't think Brew Baker heard.
Brew Baker, sorry, the case is a Thermaltake Series 500.
I'm assuming because Paul Lamont says lip reads the chat.
Sorry.
And David Thompson says Bristol tech guy arrested for blowing his fans on live stream.
Again. Now I'm pretty sure that this fan bracket whole thing comes out, which I'm going to need to because I need to get into behind here. But also I probably need to disconnect some of my RGB wiring also. And should be just 6 screws. William Bodie? I'm not sure. More importantly, where's Ugly Bob? Well, what have they done with him?
Mike makes me laugh, just like Johnny Vegas does.
Oh dear, I'll take that as a comment. Look at the state of those fans. They actually need another dust in, so bear with.
William is there.
Hey, Will. Liam. Good. Right, there we go. That's marginally better. Pew, pew. Righty. Let's do something constructive. Right. So here is the Lian Li ARGB control and USB module in white, kindly sent to us by Colin Hilton. Thank you, Colin. Essentially what this is another 2 USB ports, type A. And also you've got 2 controllers for each of the inner and the outer rings on the fans. That is kind of pretty much it. These are available, I think, somewhere between 15 and 30 pounds. I'm not too sure exactly. And inside, we're looking at, so we've got that. So you're going to get an additional 2 USB ports. Those are USB 3.0, even though they're color-coded white. They are USB 3.0, which is something Lian Li do. They try to color-code stuff, so they color-coded the ports to the actual PC rather than color-coding them as per the USB spec. So you've got those control buttons, and in terms of wiring, relatively straightforward. So you've got SATA power, so this needs power. You've also got an addressable RGB port there to plug into the hub, which is in the back. You've also got another cable there, which I think you can connect up to some other devices should you wish to. I think that's the case. And also there is a USB 3.0 plug there, which sadly my motherboard doesn't have an additional plug, so I won't be able to plug that one in.
Don't know how to say name.
Yon Cross, is that? Where can I get that vacuum? You probably won't be able to now, to be honest with you, because the vacuum is the Dyson. I think this is the V7 Animal. Where are we? Doesn't say on there, does it? No, it doesn't say. That's the information on the bottom of it. But it is I think it's a V7 Animal.
We do a review of it, don't we?
Yeah, there's a review on the channel. If Kath can find it, she'll put the link in the video. You might still be able to get one. You can get refurbished versions on places like eBay for very little money. And Seth is saying, I have this case, black, non-RGB, and didn't buy extra fans. What's the best setup for neutral, positive pressure air cooling? And do you need extra fans? Well, if you've just got the case with no fans at all, and you didn't get these ones which are included with certain models, the 160mm ones, these are great. These really are great. Because you've got the blanking plate that goes all the way around it and actually cuts it off at the back as well. So you can see that even though there's a gap, it's still blanked off at the front, so you don't get that weird turbulent effect that you get with other cases. So you get a lot of air power coming from these fans, and also they're blanked off at the top as well. So the only kind of intake on the front is from the fans, and the pressure is maintained because you don't lose it through the extra perforations. So in terms of cooling, this does a really, really good job. The only downside is the fans themselves. You do need to kind of temper them a little bit. If you run them at full speed all the time, you're going to get pissed off with them pretty quick. I always run them somewhere around sort of 30 to 50%. They don't really need to go much faster than that, but depends where you are really and how hot the environment is. I'm pretty much giving it a pretty hard time here with the CPU that I'm using. The GPU not so much because it doesn't generate a great deal of heat. But you know, in the grand scheme of things,
Jason Wood's off.
This does really well in terms of cooling. Cheers, Jason. I'm going to take off the back panel, and oh god, I've forgotten how bad my cable management is in the back of here. This is going to be somewhat embarrassing, but hey ho.
Truck fan wants to know, should they pop off and go faff around, or should I keep watching Mike's Blooper TV?
I would suggest sticking around, or if you want to leave, leave, but leave the video running. It's all good for the watch time. Right, I need to disconnect these fans, I think. Do I need to disconnect them? Do I not? Right, yes, I am going to disconnect these fans. Where's that connecting to? The wiring in the back of here is not pretty, which I think I've probably already mentioned. What cable is that and where does that go to? Right, let's unplug the 2 PWM feeds. Or is that just one? And I've daisy chained it. Did I daisy chain it? No, there is another. In the words of, there we go. In the words of Yoda, no, there is another.
I feel like I've got a bit of sunburn today, actually.
I feel a bit sunburned today. I was out in the garden chopping up some logs ready for...
Logs, pallets.
Pallets. Don't spoil the illusion. We know the reality, Kath. Don't spoil the illusion.
Logs.
There's not much I got in my life. Don't just let me have that, please.
Oh. Oh, I'll go and get you some more logs.
Yeah, to be honest with you, I prefer chopping up pallets. Logs are hard bloody work. Right, so I've just disconnected this from the hub. Unfortunately, you cannot see this at the moment, but you'll see it when I put it all back together, so it'll all make perfect sense, he says. Tongue firmly in cheek. So that is basically it. If you want to take this stuff out to maybe add a radiator, to work on the PC, those kinds of things, it's quite straightforward to do. So you can remove the whole bracket. It's bizarre actually, because it's 6 screws to remove the bracket, or 8 screws to remove the fans. So yeah, it's kind of, it's one of those. Like, does it help? I don't know. Let me know what you think. So anyway, that is the kind of the basic look of the case with the front panel off. There is our PCI Express Gen 5 cable in there, waiting patiently, idle, waiting for a decently priced graphics card, which that could take a while. Probably too long the way things are going. Something about Thermaltake, and actually I'm going to turn it around so you can see it. This is pointless me looking at it. So this is what is going on in the back of the case. Hopefully you can mostly see that. I might be able to actually get a bit of a closer thing on it now. Let's try about 20 mil. That should do. A little bit low. That'll do. That's fine. Yeah, so unfortunately, a very common thing with Thermaltake fans, being this is a Thermaltake AIO, is the cabling on it is generally super long. So it gives you a little bit more to manage. Now this one is the addressable RGB coming from the addressable RGB head on the pump. So they've given you a nice long cable on there, so you can kind of cable manage that wherever you want to. But the fans as well, you've also got these 3, because it's a 360 mil. So if you kind of take like that out of the equation, it's actually quite clean in here, quite tidy. The cable management options are pretty good. I generally, as a rule, tend not to kind of go too overboard on cable management. Probably mostly because, well, A, I'm a lazy bastard, but secondly, because I swap stuff out and I'm messing around in here, so if I cable manage stuff and get it like absolutely perfect, when I then decide, actually, no, I don't like this, I'm doing something else, it's just a pain in the backside to kind of undo everything I've just done. So I generally don't tend to cable manage a great deal, being completely honest with you there.
What does the heart do in the corner? I can't see all the text. I thought that.
If you click on the heart, it's just like a chat thing. So,
so
if you all click on the heart, all hearts will go up,
it.
and then the creator can see that whatever he or she has said is appreciated, or agreed with, or thumbs up, or
you can't
congratulated.
See the text underneath it, can you? That's what he's saying.
Yeah, it is actually quite annoying. I think if you have it on a wide enough screen with the default view, I think you can, it goes to one side slightly. I think it depends on the resolution that you're watching in. I think if you're watching it 4K, I think it shifts it across a little bit further so you can still see the text. Although if you're watching in 4K, you probably can't even see the text.
Same here. Why the heart?
Yeah.
It's annoying.
Well, tell Google, it's not my fault, I didn't put it in there.
I don't get it on my phone, so that's good.
Oh yeah, I don't think. Oh yeah, I do because on my phone I've got the slightly updated version.
2019.
Yeah. Right, so I'm having some thoughts now whilst I'm trying to do this. I am thinking about that front panel. There's a lot of extra cabling to take into consideration here, and the fact that it goes across the flow of the air, which is a little bit somewhat counterintuitive, but what the heck. I may actually have a look at the instructions. Yep, there we go. There's not a lot in the instructions, to be honest. It doesn't tell you a great deal. Where have we got? So
William's got a 44-inch 4K here and still not able to see the text.
Oh.
Our Wolfman's
Is a pain. Hello, Irie Wolfman.
new hearts.
Bless you. Right, connect to PSU. Right, okay. Now I understand. Right, so the female connection from this control hub goes directly to the motherboard. And then the other end, the pass-through, like the male end, then travels all the way through underneath here and then goes into the male, female, and the they connection. What would be a they? Is that a pass-through?
Like it. Do you need a drink now?
No, all right. So, where the actual F is the main addressable RGB cable going currently, I think it's down here and then into there. Okay, so I need to disconnect that from the inside of the motherboard, which is there at the top. So I'm just going to unplug that one. So later on, when I start putting this in and I'm like, oh God, where does this go? Can somebody in the chat please remind me that the cable I need to plug into is here at the top, the one that I unplugged earlier. Just say, Mike, it's the one you unplugged earlier, and I'll know. I'll probably still get it wrong, but hopefully with you lot helping me in the background, we'll get this done. Fingers crossed. What should I do?
Can you put 3 120 fans on the bottom?
No. No, you can put, well, to be honest with you, I probably wouldn't put any fans on the bottom at all. I have seen videos where people have done it, and that, unfortunately, dear viewer, is down to the magic of advertising propaganda. Because in the kind of review guides and stuff like that you get for these kinds of components, if you're a YouTuber and you get stuff sent for review, quite often you'll get a review guide sent with you. And depending who the components coming from, sometimes they come directly, sometimes they go through third party or third and fourth parties, depending on what the deal is. But quite often, if there is a feature of a case which isn't entirely kind of groundbreaking or actually even that good, they will quite often suggest in the review notes or mention in the review notes that the product can do it, even if it isn't particularly good. And the reason behind that is, or the reason why it isn't particularly good, is because these covers here, you can only use them obviously if you've got your graphics card in a traditional horizontal style, such as what we've got going on here. You can remove these sections, so there is a couple of screws. So I'll quickly undo those, like I do anything quickly.
Where does the controller go?
Controller fits here. It replaces this blanking panel. So if you undo these two little screws, you can then pop out this bottom mount, and then you can put a fan in there. In which case it makes a lot of sense, because you can pull in quite a decent amount of air there, because it is not entirely open, but it is pretty open. So you can do that. For me, I don't know. It doesn't, for me, I feel it doesn't give you that much extra. All it's really doing is changing the flow of the air, because you can have air coming in from the front. That is going to be your primary kind of intake section. You have got this mesh on the side, which is relatively open, but because the front two fans produce a quite significant amount of positive pressure, you're more likely to have air coming out of this side than what you are actually coming in. Unless you've got your rear exhaust fan and your CPU fans at the top, or whatever fans, set at a particularly high rate, it's unlikely you're going to get much fresh air coming in the bottom. It's generally going to be pushing air out. So having a fan here isn't really, it's more diverting. It's not giving you extra air pressure to force air to your GPU. So for me personally, I don't think it adds a great deal of value. Secondly, if you put a second 120mm fan here, because again, if I take this top panel off, you'll be able to see how close it is to the power supply, and depending if you've got your power supply face down or fan down, it'll be okay. But if you've got it fan up, you're basically going to be fighting itself for air pressure. So let's undo this, and you'll see there's a very, very, very small slither of air gap between the power supply and where you'd potentially be mounting your fans. So you can probably see there, you can see the dust on it for sure. So there is well, I can't even get a finger in there.
Sweet.
Toit, like a tiger.
Like Poppy's belly.
Yeah. So that is kind of, it's one of those things that it's, I think personally, it's a little bit pointless. If you've got some really nice fans and they got some really cool kind of side glow going on, then for a little bit of extra decoration and maybe a little bit of airflow, then it's something you could do. I would probably avoid doing it. It's just more complexity, more wiring. They will only physically go on the top. You won't be able to get them underneath. If there was a little bit more height here and you could maybe get them underneath, I think that would probably be quite nice, a nice clean look, and also give you a little bit of RGB kind of underglow. This is very dirty. I didn't realise how dirty this PC was. Normally, in the grand scheme of things, I actually replace the case before it gets dirty.
Truck fan or...
But in this particular instance, I haven't.
Shift bottom fan.
What was it? Truck fan. Hiya Letta in the chat, and hello Nick Barnes as well. Hello Rick H.
You haven't said hello to anyone.
Ian McLeod, MJ Green, etc. So
MJ Green says, I only asked because I seen a guy put 3 fans on the bottom on Reddit and I was confused.
yeah, you can do it. There's no reason really why you shouldn't do it, other than like obviously what I've just said. There are some implications of that. Like you're basically going to get no airflow from here at all. From here, I can see it making a lot more sense. Although, again, you are going to have to be kind of careful. Not sure if you can see that particularly well from where the camera is, but depending on the size of your power supply, you've also got your cable in here as well. So if you do put a fan there, it's kind of fighting against the cabling as well a little bit. So it's not going to be at its most efficient. It's fine, it's going to work, and it will be better than nothing at all possibly. But considering how much fans cost these days, especially nice ones or decent ones, is it really worth it? I don't know.
Reading truck fans.
Sorry, what did truck fans say?
Should bottom fans in 011D Evo be intake or exhaust? My room is very dusty, so I'm worried about PC playing hoover and sucking up tons of dust.
Yeah, really, I would probably try and create as much positive pressure as you can. But yeah, bottom fans really are better suited for an intake than an exhaust, because obviously heat rises or has a tendency to rise. With airflow it's a little bit different, because when you've got forced airflow, convection is a relatively weak force, so you can kind of combat that somewhat. So you could have the bottom ones as exhaust if they're running strong enough, and have the whole system being negative pressure, but then you're going to find dust is going to find its way in elsewhere. If you're in a slightly dusty environment, my suggestion is always trying to keep your fans as neutral as possible. So there's no extreme intake, there's no extreme exhaust, and it's all just very nice and balanced. I think that works a lot better in a dusty environment. Realistically, it's only dust. It's not that harmful as long as you periodically give it a little bit of a clean out. Like whether,
All about aesthetic.
yeah, whether you do or not, it's up to you. If something looks nicer, but potentially might generate a little bit of extra dust, then I would go with what looks nicer.
Is that GPU sagging?
Yeah.
That's the last man standing, and this is the last GPU standing.
It is the last GPU stand-in. Unfortunately, because it is a triple fan model, there is a little bit of sag. Hence why I wanted to get the vertical GPU bracket in there. I think for a lot of modern cards now, especially triple fan ones, having, oh, there's only one screw, having the actual GPU mounted vertically makes a lot of sense. And actually, in some cases, especially this one, I did find that the cooling performance is significantly better with it being vertically mounted. Now that might not be the same for everyone, and all GPUs tend to behave slightly differently to each other anyway. But I feel personally that this setup works much better with a vertical GPU. The only downside is, well, let's see, I keep on saying the only downside. One of the downsides of having a vertically mounted GPU is you do lose access to, obviously, your I/O stuff at the bottom, which is somewhat of a pain. And also, if you wanted to add in like a capture card or something like that in a PCI Express slot, you're basically screwed.
That's what they've done. They'll just put that vertical
Oh,
mount
right.
in suck for accessing the board.
That is exactly right. So there is the RX 6800. This card,
Chuck fans off.
I have very mixed views on this card. And I almost immediately had regrets about buying it. I did pick it up cheap, so it was on an offer, and I didn't spend it. It didn't pay like retail, but I did buy it from eBay or Amazon, one of the two. But I have noticed recently the power efficiency of it is excellent, and that is something which I think a lot of us, especially now going in towards winter in the UK, if you're with us, UK represent, the energy bills are about to go through the roof once again. So we've lost all of our kind of subsidies and government grants, or they've been reduced, whatever. So energy prices are, yeah, essentially just nuts. So ideally, wherever possible, you want to try to save a little bit of energy if you can. That's not always possible. There's some things which are luxuries and you just want to use them, so you do it. Much like boiling the kettle for a cup of tea.
Let's get a kettle for on top of the wood burner.
Yeah.
You need a bigger wood burner. All the things on top of it.
So yeah, basically that is kind of where I am at with it. It's an efficient graphics card.
What graphics card is it?
It's a RX 6800 Speedster 319 from XFX. It's actually quite a nice graphics card.
Rick says go back to ARC, Mike.
I was very tempted to put the ARC back in here because this is an Intel system, and I do like the way the ARC performs, but unfortunately, it just isn't quite there. And obviously, given the choice between an RX 6800 and an ARC A770, the A770 is good, but it ain't that good. And in terms of power efficiency, you can get the ARC to be almost as efficient, but it does take a lot of doing. And actually, I think the ARC possibly might even be more efficient playing YouTube videos. I have noticed recently that AMD drivers, if you're just playing a YouTube video, it does seem that the power usage has gone up considerably, up to about 40 watts, whereas I think the Intel was about 15. So if you are basically watching YouTube videos all day long, then you'd probably bet off with an ARC card.
Nick Barnes says ARC uses a ton of energy, not efficient.
ARC isn't efficient, that is the trouble.
And R. Wolfman says, like watching Mike on a TV, laptop and phone at the same time.
Yeah, that's far from efficient, but it gets the job done.
But what we got, the stream,
Yeah.
your PC and my phone going in here.
Yeah. We won't turn the lights on in a room we're not in, but we will have multiple lights on, multiple PCs on, phones, etc. We're all nuts.
But I've only got Poppy Dora's belly for heat here. So far.
Right, so now, I don't really understand how this is going to work, because if I put the fans back in here, that is going to surely cut across that. Okay. And there's no... Unless it... right, let's see if I can get it to go underneath. Maybe that is what that little thing is for, to try and channel them underneath. Tricky. Tricky business. Just hope and pray that once this goes down underneath here, there's actually enough room to get to where it needs to go. Because otherwise that would suck. So I'm just looking around to see if the internet's about to drop out. You can always tell if it is because the lights start flashing. Right, so let's put that in there. This is getting the better of me already. No, that is the right way round, isn't it? Okay. Oh, cable management is a pain in the backside, it really is. So that fits in there.
Inherit Henriksen says, "Hi, I'm on 150 watts, just watching YouTube, 2x2K monitors and a 7900 XTX Red Devil."
Jeez. Yeah, 4K is somewhat of a killer when it comes to efficiency. Right, that isn't going to work. Unless I'm being completely stupid, which I'm not going to rule out. Now, another reason why I wanted to do this on the stream is because I want to do a video on how to do this, but I wasn't really sure myself. Ah, there we go. Right, okay. That kind of works. Although I've trapped my cables in here now, so that isn't working very well. Thank you for the super chat, whoever it is. David Aiken, £2. Thank you very much. It says, hello Mike, Kath and Mubbers. Good evening to you and the Famalam. Am I allowed to say Famalam? Probably. So is that looks like it's crunching the wires there, but I don't think it is. Right, let me see if I can get you a better camera. I'm going to put that graphics card somewhere safe. Let me see if
mine didn't roll.
Mine didn't roll in.
I got you.
Right, so hopefully, can you see that there? So the cables from this section have gone down the side of this fan, and there's like a little channel there at the bottom. So the cables go underneath that channel, but there isn't a lot of not a lot of wiggle room there.
Bite your nails.
As you can see, because I bite my nails. Yeah. You silly bastard. Kath.
Yeah.
You're taking it off the edge of the desk.
That's okay.
It's not, is it? Because if it falls, it.
I won't fall because I'm not going to let go. Where do you want it?
A bit higher. Can you see me in it? Yeah, make it a little bit higher, please.
That's straight.
Well, straight if you can, but yeah, that'll do. Thanks.
Was that PSU expensive, Mike?
Was that PSU expensive? No, it was very, very inexpensive for me because in complete transparency, Thermaltake sent it to me for a review. So it didn't cost me actually anything. But as far as power supplies go, it is actually a slightly cheaper unit, which is kind of the reason why I want to use it, because I don't think that everybody has got infinitely deep pockets for this kind of stuff.
Like when we went shopping earlier, oh my god.
Oh my god, we went shopping earlier and everything's so freaking expensive. It's just like mad, absolutely mad. Right, let's turn this back round so you can see what I'm actually doing. So that's back in now. We've got some of our cables. There's a few little straggly bits there, but they're going to be hidden anyway. So let's get these screws back in, which probably now won't line up. There we go.
$275 in Australia.
That sounds about right, I think. Yeah, I think it's about 130 here. Oh, bastards. I think it's about 130 here in the UK.
Matthew Day said no yellow stickers.
Oh, for God's sake.
Yellow stickers on your finger.
I need some. I wish I was Spider-Man. I would just web sling these suckers back.
Mind you're out on the camera.
Oh yeah, that one.
So no yellow stickers. It's been terrible this week.
No, this week for deals, both on Amazon and in our local cooperative, have been junk. Absolute junk.
Empty bear.
Yeah. It's like the food apocalypse is beginning. But having said that, obviously, considering what is in the news at the moment, we are in a significantly better place than a lot of people. So we do have to say our prayers and praises for that, because we could be in a much worse position. And the fact that we are able to have these nice things, computers and power supplies and graphics cards, and actually have food It is better than a lot of people in the world, so yeah. Before we complain too much about the crapness.
Right off top front fan, a trapped cable.
There? No, it's there is a small channel there, much like our small channel. Let's turn it around so you can see. There's a little channel that goes behind there, so still plenty of movement there. But thanks for pointing it out though, because that would be one of those things where in a couple of hours time I could be going, no bastards, why didn't anyone tell me? So I appreciate that.
Slim Boy's enjoying his cheap Amazon cat food.
Nice. Who's Slim Boy?
That's David Undergill's cat. He Francis Poppy.
I thought it was a viewer. I say, our viewers, I know some of them are on a bit of a budget, but eating cat food, come on, have a word. Things can't be that bad. Maybe they are. Right, so there we go. We'll just check the fans, make sure they're spinning. None of our cables are particularly crunched, although those don't look great if I'm honest, but it's fine. So now we've got a spare one of these, which you can, if you want to, you can actually swap these around, so you can have that at the top. So you can move your IO technically down to here, move your USBs up to here, and vice versa.
Slim Shady is his black and white cat. Slim Boy is the nickname.
Ah, now I see. So you can see now on here why there was a cutout here, and also one at the top. So we can just pop that back on.
Can you invert the case?
No. No, you can't invert it. I have to be careful before I say this, but I actually don't like inverted or rotated cases. This has been a bane of my life, actually, especially with... sorry, I'll move that up slightly. Yeah, it's been a bane of my life recently with Thermaltake, because they've gone through this thing of doing the whole CTE thing, the centralized thermal efficiency, and I gotta be honest with you, I don't like the look of it. It just, I don't know. I can see why it works, and it does thermally. It's flipping excellent, but it's also one of those things that it's like, I don't know. I think I've seen the insides of a PC now for so many years that to kind of see it in an inverted format is a little bit odd. Years ago it would have been better because you didn't have all those other things such as like the pictures and the logos, the MSI LEDs, the Lian Li logos and all that kind of stuff. Pretty much everything inside a PC is designed to have logos facing, like if you look in the background, I'm not sure you can see it very well, but there's the GeForce RTX logo. On the motherboard you've got the MPG for MSI, you've got at the bottom you've got writing on the motherboard, etc. Elgato card even got Elgato on the side of it. As soon as you twist it 90 degrees, because it has got writing on it, immediately it's wrong. If it didn't have any writing on it or any logos or images or anything, it would be fine because you wouldn't notice it. But from a design point of view, if you ever see anything which isn't in its correct orientation, it throws you straight away. Which is why when you go to like a door, if a door's got like a door number, so say like, or an address on it, say you go into a room and it's like, in a TV studio, for example, you'd have like makeup room, dressing room, prosthetics, etc. You would never see the sign for prosthetics being written kind of sideways up the side of the door frame, long ways on its side, 90 degrees. You would never see that. It would always be either written on the door across horizontally or above the door horizontally. You'd never see it down the side. You might see a room number, but you'd never see writing that way. And the reason is because you look at it and it disorientates you straight away because you're so used to, as a human being, seeing things in the portrait view like we do, or well, landscape, but you know what I mean. Things have always got the right way round. It would be like start reading all of your books at 90 degrees. It's just such a weird thing to do. But for a PC, for cooling, it makes a lot of sense.
I quite like it looking a bit different for a change.
It does look different.
But it's because everyone's got their advertising on the side of everything, isn't it?
Yeah, that's just what I mean. If they didn't have the advertising, it would be much better and it would be a lot more pleasing to the eye, I feel personally. So like if you're going to go whole hog on one of these inverted builds or 90-degree builds, you kind of got to go along the lines of probably all in one, like custom water cooling. So you'd have water blocks, all that kind of stuff, because they generally don't tend to be massively kind of labeled up or with logos and stuff, because they want to let the water show through, etc. So those work really well. If you're going for a CT case and you're going for a normal tower air cooler, traditional GPU, it does take a little bit of kind of getting used to. But thermally, it does make an absolute ton of sense. So it's like, it's always one of those things. It's kind of like, it works, but I don't know. I don't think it looks as nice as it could. That's just my opinion though. And I've actually said this a couple of times to Thermaltake when they've asked to send cases. And I'm being honest, like, I don't like this layout. I really don't. For me, aesthetically, it's not pleasing. But for a thermal standpoint, yes, it is excellent. Right, so I've got my cables plugged in there. What should I do next? Right, I need to try and work out what I'm going to do with this. So I need power for this, so I might as well do the power supply next. So I'm going to start disconnecting the power supply from the other side. I am definitely going to regret this, because the EPS cable is going to be an absolute pig to get to, because now there's a radiator in the way. I wish they'd moved the EPS cable somewhere else. So let's take that one out, and then might as well get rid of all of this. So yeah, let me know in the comments, or let Kath know and she'll tell me, what do you think about inverted PC layout?
Like having a door say pushed open when it's full. Lucky man.
What's that? You like having...
It's
oh yeah.
Like having a door say pushed open when it's full.
Yeah, I get you with that, yeah.
MJ Green, yeah, but that's the same with a vertical GPU in my opinion. I don't like seeing the GPU fans when you already have PC fans on your case.
Actually, that is a very good point, yeah.
And won't they be different sizes, and that'll just be like all OCD weird? Ours is shut in a cupboard, so doesn't matter.
Yeah, ours, you can't really see mine anyway when it's on, but the two reasons why I want to do the vertical mounting in this instance in here, even though it just goes against everything I've just said, primarily is because we had sag. So obviously going that way is going to eliminate sag, because it can't physically sag. And I think in terms of the actual view of the card, I think that works okay, apart from where it says Radeon, because obviously that is going to be around the wrong way. But in its traditional layout, it would have been like that. So you wouldn't have seen that anyway. So I can kind of forgive that. And I think the fans themselves, even though they're all three, well, those two are different size from the middle one, I think that is going to look okay. And actually I prefer it looking like that than that. I think that is a more interesting look than that.
Inside the cupboard.
Inside the cupboard. You just had to, didn't you?
Can't help it.
I know.
Where is Pops tonight? Inverted layout.
She's
I hate it. Yeah,
Poppy's inverted layout over there on the desk.
She is. She can't get comfy. She's getting very fat.
We're not fat shaming. Just want to point that out. Get out of the room.
Pregnant.
She's
bellied.
pregnant. Massive.
Kind of rock.
Ooh, I think I said this in the review actually. These little spring clip tabs, they're an excellent idea. They actually do work really well.
But not for headphone users.
Not for headphone users.
Sorry, I've been really bitchy tonight.
Yeah. Thanks for that. That power supply is filthy. And actually, that the main 24-pin connection wasn't fully seated either. How
Slim
terrible.
Boy, you are not the father. I don't know. You might be.
He's done it by osmosis. That's how we're all going to do it in the future. Virtually.
How does the GPU fare for airflow when vertically mounted, Mike?
That was the other thing, yeah, because the fans on the Lian Li 216 are excellent. They got really good pressure to them. Because it's pushing in that air straight across, you've got really good cooling for the, obviously, there's 3 sections of air intake there, which is now going to get air flowing straight across it, whereas previously it was like that. So it was kind of going there, but not as much. It was slightly kind of swirling around there. So you get a little bit more extra air going towards the back, which is good. And also it cools the back plate down as well, which actually does,
Be filthy.
I'm just seeing if it does actually make physical contact. I'm pretty sure it did. Well, I haven't taken this one apart. No, it doesn't appear that it does actually make physical contact, so that is kind of like pointless really. But for some reason or other, in the vertical layout, in this particular case, my graphics cards generally run about 5 degrees cooler on average. I mean, 5 degrees is 5 degrees. If you had a CPU cooler and you're doing tests and one cooler was 5 degrees lower, you'd probably use it because it's a significant difference. If it was like 2 degrees or 3 degrees, I'd probably be like, is it really worth it? But 5 degrees is relatively tangible. It's more than 10%.
What, 3 degrees?
5 degrees is more than 10%.
Our Wolfman cases were designed around the disk drive at the front. Same with motherboards. With the disk drive now gone for some time, it's about time the layout of cases and motherboards were updated for this.
To be honest, yeah, that is a very, very valid point. Yeah, the ATX layout has, for the last, what, 30 years? Well, what was it, 95? Yeah, 1990, I think ATX came out as a standard. So, yeah, 30 plus years. ATX has been the predominant form factor. And unfortunately, I'm going to have to remove one of these fans to actually get to that EPS connector. This is why I do jobs like this on a stream, because at least that way I'm being paid for it, indirectly. Thank you, YouTube advertising revenue. Oh, and some of you have said that your ad blocker is now preventing you watching, was it more than 3 videos? Is that right? I've heard a couple of people saying that. So if you've got an ad blocker on your Chrome, you can only watch 3 videos before you've got to like close it and reopen it or something. Which, to be honest, from a creator's point of view, I'm like, kind of, okay, yeah, ad blockers are kind of bad. But from a point of view of a viewer, someone who watches content as well, it is a bit of a nose, isn't it?
Who made that photo of the kittens with your face? Of Dave Aiken, wasn't it?
Dave, yeah. He's a sicko.
Oh, that's cute.
And I've just taken the wrong screw out now. That's instant karma for wishing ad blockers didn't work. And actually, I would say, to be fair, the ad blocker thing, whether or not it's the time of year, I know we've had Amazon Prime Day, but it does seem that, well, I'm not sure why it is, but it does seem that the revenue is up very, very slightly. Now, it is very, very slight, and it is almost something to do with the time of year, because obviously you've got Prime Day, so a lot of people are researching things to buy. But it does seem that in general it is up. So if you are a content creator who is making content which is searched for and is useful to people, then I think it is fair that the creator does get a little bit of something back. So yeah, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. I don't mind. I quite happily watch adverts, especially on channels that I watch, and there's some channels which as long as it isn't an overly long advert. If it starts to be one of those stupid things where it's like 2.5 minutes long, it's like,
some of them are like
it's like,
2.5
nah,
hours.
you're getting skipped.
Have you seen those ones that are about 2.5 hours?
Yeah, there was an advert which was some sort of documentary on health and fitness and something. It was like, what the bloody hell's going on here?
Hi.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Lewis. Big smiley, just showing off my bank balance. It's like, yeah, but if you're showing off your bank balance and you've got £7.5 million in your bank, why are you making YouTube videos? Surely you should be in the Caribbean or something, relaxing with like a pina colada and multiple people massaging your shit. I don't know.
Bandy.
Bandy!
But maybe not read it out loud. You can if you want, but...
That is true, Bandy. We do accept the unconventional. Welly Bob says, watching YouTube without Prime is obscene. I can't do it. Oh, do you mean the Premium, YouTube Premium? Is that the one? I must admit, YouTube Premium is something which I am very tempted to get. I don't know why.
They push it too hard and you just don't want it then.
They do push it too hard, but
every time you open your phone.
on the flip side of it, I don't mind giving... If I knew the money was all going back to creators, I would do it in a heartbeat.
Wouldn't be, would it?
But it
It'd
ain't.
be going to them.
I did suggest, actually, my boss on a Sunday in the shop. Now, we caught up, like, it's a car shop, we sell car parts, etc. And something which we do very often is replacing people's key fobs. You know, the buttons, the batteries, the remotes, etc. We do that a lot. And of course, as a human being, you can't be expected to know every single type of key fob, how to take them apart, because they're all really super different. Anyone who's had to do it themselves will probably know that they are super different. They are very different. So, Gaffs hates me tonight.
That was just really weird.
If one of us isn't here next week, you'll know why.
Oh, Poppy Dora might be multiplied.
But yeah, trying to do those key fobs is hard work. So we have a computer at work which we can go to fire up YouTube to see how it's done, which we do for quite a lot of key fobs. There's quite some which you do on a regular basis because they're quite common, like your Volkswagen stuff. That's generally quite straightforward, and a lot of the Ford stuff is quite easy. But there's some stuff like Land Rover, some Porsches, some kind of slightly more obscure cars. You get a key fob and you're like, well, how the hell do I take that apart? And you don't want to smash the thing open with a screwdriver. And a lot of them these days don't actually have screws as such. They're all kind of clipped together. There's like kind of this origami stuff going on. So it does make sense to look it up. So when I look up those videos at the moment, because our boss Ian, hi Ian if you're watching, he's too tight to pay for YouTube Premium. And I even said to him, it would make sense for you as an individual, because whenever we go to the computer to look up one of these things on how to do the key fobs, or to change a headlight in a car, or whatever it is, bulbs, we do all that kind of stuff, fit in. And there's some things which you look at and you go, well, how the hell does that come out of there? It's not as simple as it used to be years ago. So you look it up. And for us, you fire it open, you do search, first thing that comes up, you get an advert. So you've got to watch at least some of the advert while the customer's waiting. So in terms of us being more productive, it would make sense to have YouTube Premium so we don't get the adverts. And also, so the creator gets something back for taking the time to make the video, which I completely agree with. I think that's the way it should be. But yeah, I don't know. I agree with it in that terms, but as long as the creators do actually get something back from it. If YouTube start doing like they normally do, and that is clawing back as much money as they possibly can.
Amazon, wasn't it? The commission rates used to be like
Amazon
10 times as much.
Amazon commission used to be actually pretty decent. Some things were like 10-15% in terms of like your kickback. So it is actually really worth doing. Whereas
on
now,
certain things, never computer stuff, though.
computer stuff was always quite low, like 5 to 3%, sometimes a little bit lower. But nowadays, on a lot of computer stuff for Amazon, if you're doing like affiliate links, 1%, and you're like, wow, cool. Sometimes it's even like down to 0.5%. I'm pretty sure. Has it been 0.5%? Or am I dreaming that? I think it has been as low as that, hasn't it?
But like they've announced their massive profits in 2020, and then put all our commissions down. Right,
let's get this power supply in anyway. So this is the Thermaltake Tough Power GFA3. So this, the reason why they call this the GFA3 rather than being some different model altogether is effectively internally it is kind of almost identical to the GF3 range, which is their more premium range. The GFA3 has a slightly smaller fan for cooling. It also has slightly lesser quality capacitors, which is something which is always a bone of contention, because I had this conversation, or started to have this conversation earlier on a YouTube video, and I think it was James Brock, possibly. Is that Papa Mav? I shouldn't say it out loud, but anyway, I said it now, so it's too late. Yeah, so yeah, he asked the question with someone else talking about caps, and I said in the video for one of the power supplies, I did say that, or was it in the live stream, that the whole capacitor thing is a little bit of a scam. And the reason behind that is because it kind of is a bit of a scam, because a lot of manufacturers, in Thermaltake are no exception to this, they do it as well because it's a universal thing. So you'll see quite often on a power supply, in terms of giving a kind of inferred quality level, like on here, it says main Japanese capacitors. So traditionally, if you had a power supply, if all of the capacitors inside were Japanese ones, it would have a inferred level of quality and durability. Because traditionally, as time has gone on, capacitors that had come from China had been notoriously bad. Capacitors that had been used in Japan in certain items were generally very, very good. So there was that kind of thing. If you had a power supply, if you went onto the internet, somebody was talking about it and they would say, oh, it's got Japanese capacitors, and it would be classed as a selling point. So this is from an era which has long since deceased. So the whole kind of Japanese caps are better than Chinese caps is a myth. It has been true, but it is no longer the case. And it's more a case of who the capacitors come from rather than what country they come from. And I also refer this to, we get this in the UK as well quite a lot. So if you buy something, it's got like made in the UK, or in America, it's a very big thing that they push made in the US. And it's kind of one of those things that you look at and you think, well, yeah, that's made in the USA, must be good. It's just an inferred level of quality. Now, it also may be something else as well, so a political gesture. So if you are someone who is very patriotic to your country, you want to buy something which is produced and made in your own country, you look for the label that says made in the USA, made in the UK, made in Ireland, whatever it might be. So yes, there is that to it as well. But it's often misused, I feel personally, in certain marketing things to give you that kind of inferred illusion of it being a higher quality product, or a product from somewhere else being inferior, which isn't always the case. Yes, you do get a lot of crap that comes from China, but on the flip side, you also get some extremely high quality things as well. So having a blanket ban saying Japanese capacitors, I feel is very misleading. It's one of those inferred levels of quality, much like the 80 plus rating. Like, to get an 80 plus rating isn't necessarily difficult to do. There are certain things you can do to a power supply to make it particularly good at a certain aspect, but be pretty poor in others, but still maintain a bronze, silver, gold, platinum, titanium, etc. Titanium and platinum is probably harder, but for some manufacturers, they do specifically do things in order to kind of pass a certain test. Much like motherboards years ago used to have a thing in the BIOS saying performance, you can increase performance for certain things in the BIOS, but it's pointless. Yes.
69 watching for Ugly Bob.
Ugly Bob, if you're watching, 69 current viewers, woo!
Any bloopers while Truck Fan was gone?
And I don't think so. I think it's all been truths. We've been laying out some harsh truths right now.
Anthony Carter says, why not use Brave? It's got a YouTube ad blocker.
Brave, I think, is basically, well, I'm not going to say it because I'm not 100% sure. But from what I gather,
I'm not going to say it.
It's Brave isn't quite as whatever it's supposed to be than it states. It's hard to say. I can't really say directly what it is because it's not entirely proven, but it does appear that it's not. Well, just look who owns Brave. That's all I'll say. When you know who owns what, it kind of, a lot of this stuff makes sense. But it isn't until you actually look into it that you realise. Right, I've got 3 PCI Express cables here, all in white, which is very nice. I am somewhat tempted to use just one, because, no, I'm going to use 2, because I don't know what I'm going to be putting in here later.
Have you ever had a point and shoot digital camera? I have.
Yes.
IRC. You had nice things, didn't you?
Yeah, we've had some Nikon Coolpixes. I'm trying to think. We've had quite a few different cameras over the years, point and shoots. The first point and shoot we had was the Kodak DC210 Plus, I think, or DC200 Plus. It was one of the first megapixel cameras out on the market.
1999.
1999, yeah. When George was born, it was one of the first things we bought at PC World after we, after we got over the initial shock.
No, it's because we kept missing his smiles.
Yeah.
And you didn't know if you had them until the photos came back.
Yeah, yeah. The old school technology of.
I think I got his smile.
Yeah.
No, we didn't.
You get
6 months later.
Getting a photo developed now seems such a weird concept.
Oh, I love that when they've come through.
Right.
It was nice though, wasn't it?
I am going to plug in my PCI Express 600 watt PCIe Gen 5 connector, just in the hope that one day that I might actually be able to own a graphics card of said technology. Probably never happen, but we always live in hope. And I'm going to slot the power supply in. Yeah, that looks kind of nice. Although, I will say, I think Thermaltake have gone a little bit wrong on the colours. The white of the power supply isn't quite as white as the Lian Li case. Yeah. Oh, let's try it. Gosh, oh, this is so heavy. Although saying that, the Thermaltake whites generally tend to be a slightly creamier white, so it would perfectly match the Series 500 or 300 or any of the others. But you can see there, I think I did say in the review actually about the Lian Li, it's got a very, very bluish white tinge to it.
David Underhill has a photographic memory. I have to leave my thoughts at the chemist and pick them up in 3 to 4 days. Oh, did I make you jump, Dora?
Don't make her jump, her waters a break. Do cats have waters? Probably.
I don't think they do they? Because they come out in their little sacks.
Oh yeah, and they've got to be eaten out of them, aren't they? Anyway.
From what I remember, it's never been very messy.
So there we are, the power supply is going in. You have some nice white cables, which won't show up the dust as much, in theory. I have thought about something now, because Ugly Bob, bless his heart, actually sent a bunch of the right-angled connectors. If you remember in was it last week's? No, it was ages ago, wasn't it? There was a stream we did where we were talking about the adapters, which I have got in a bag here somewhere. Yep, there we go. And I did have 3 of a matching set, which was specifically for the Gaming X Trio. And then Bob sent some more, but he did send some white ones, so I did have a couple of white. No, that's not the right ones, is it?
Not the white one.
That's a 6-pin. Oh, what's this bag in here? So yeah, that's the ones. So these are my easy DIY ones. I bought these off of Amazon, so that's the matching ones. With these, you've got to make sure that they've all got the same clips on them, so they all fit the same way. So that is 3 matching ones, which all have the male up, or whatever it is. There's like a reverse or an inverted, I can never remember. But he did actually send another white one, but he sent 2 at different times, and I've put the other one actually inside the Jones bow or John's bow case with the other cards. So does this fit our GPU? Where did I even put the GPU? There it is. I don't think it's going to make much difference because realistically those are hidden, so it's not really going to be seen. But I kind of would have liked to have used them. So no, that doesn't fit on there anyway. So have I got Yeah, this is the thing now. Have I actually got the right bloody things to do this now? Is it going to be the same as the other ones? Please be right, because I want to do this and I don't want to have to take it all apart again. Oh no, I think I have done this wrong. Square. All right, that fits. Oh yes, they fit. Excellent. So those, even though they are black, you're not really going to see it when it's vertical because it's going to be channeling the cables down the back. So I'm almost tempted to put the cables in anyway, straight in, because they are nice white cables now. But I think I will leave it, I think I'll keep it like that with those adapters on. I think that is going to be the way forward. Famous last words. Right, I'm going to put all of this away before I mix things up. Yeah, bless Bob, he sent another bunch of these. I'm not too sure where he is. It seems that he was on a 4-week vacation. But he has been very, very much incognito. He did pop in the chat last Saturday, I think. Very, very briefly. Very, very briefly. And I think he's been called back to work. They got some stuff going on, so I think they've asked him back. So, no doubt we'll find out in due course. Poor Bob, he works hard, bless his heart.
Plays harder.
He does play harder, that's for sure.
Hey, baby.
Right, I'm going to plug in, not that one. Oh, actually, I'll put the cables in already, haven't I? So let's pass through some of these cables from the back. What time is it?
It's gone past 9 o'clock, it's their tea time.
Oh, the cat's tea time is 9 o'clock. Calf's a control freak. She's make sure that they don't eat outside of their hours. Training them up. Let's see if I can get that in there. Oh, I don't like these split connectors. Especially when they have been split. How does that go in there? Is that in? Yeah, that looks like it's in. I'm wondering if they have got another one in here. Is that CPU? No, PCIe. I think that was part. Oh, actually, yeah, there is a CPU. Oh no, that's a split one as well. This motherboard can actually take multiple PCI Express cables, but I think I'm only going to plug one in. It's not like we're doing any liquid nitrogen overclocking or anything. Oh, I didn't put that other block in there. Thanks again, Bob, if you're watching, for the PCI Express doodads. Very kind of you. Was it 2:49 PM? Paul Lamont says it's 21. Was that the time here? Yeah, well done. Not free. The clocks are going back next week, I think, aren't they?
Oh, not next week, is it?
Yeah, I think so.
There's some food right now, Baba.
It's normally the last Sunday of the month, isn't it? So I think it's the 28th.
Oh, so we make it on the 24th?
Yeah. Yeah, not next week, is it? The week after.
Week after that, isn't it?
Oh, come on, cable. You can do it.
6:49 AM from David Underhill's
Yeah.
land.
That's mad, isn't it? Sorry about this. It's probably not a very entertaining view, but this is one of those things I don't think I could even get a camera into that EPS slot, even if I wanted to.
David Underhill says, by the way, Mike, thanks for liking my Facebook post about my new scope.
Oh, no, that's fine. There's lots of you. If you're on Facebook, drop me a friend request, and I'm quite sociable sometimes.
Argumentatively.
Yeah, argumentatively.
Jonathan Tolbert.
Hi, Jonathan Tolbert. How are you doing? Welcome to the channel.
What mic are you using?
What mic am I using? I am using the... I can't think of the model name now.
Boya.
Well, it is a Boya one. Is that the Boya BY XM6-S2? So a dual mic pack and a receiver, and you can use it with Android, iOS, and cameras, etc. The mic pack's charged via USB-C, which is really handy these days. It's a nice little kit actually. I like it a lot. Battery lasts about 8 hours, I think, 6 to 8 hours, depending on volume levels, etc.
2:49 p.m. in Rick H's world.
In Rick H's world. What time is it? Truck fan's off for a bit. Truck fan's in and out like a bloody yo-yo.
Like a truck fan.
I expect there's a Kenworth roll down the road and he's going out to look at it.
October the 29th for UK.
29th is it? I thought it was the 28th. Oh yes, but yeah, is it 28th or 29th?
It's the 29th, Paul's just told us.
I know, but I'm thinking, is that because it rolls over into... So technically it's Sunday the 28th, but it's not, because it rolls out... It's Monday morning, it rolls back into Sunday night again, doesn't it? Isn't it? I know, because it's Saturday night, isn't it, does it? So Saturday...
The 29th is the Sunday days, but because it goes
Yeah. So
back
it'd be...
an hour.
So I get an extra hour in bed before I have to go to the...
Before it goes back to the 28th, technically.
I have another hour before I have to go and face face Ian the tight wad bastard. My boss, right?
Hi, if you're watching.
Hi Ian, if you're watching, bless you.
If you say that.
Yeah, if you say bless you first of all, or he's a lovely guy, or anything like that, it's fine. You can say whatever you want after, because all the other stuff is null and void. But he's a tight bastard, he really is. Now this is coming from a man who has got a GTR, which is about 10 years old, so it's still like a $50,000 car, and multiple other vehicles I may add, and goes like racing and stuff. Mostly I'm assuming on the profits of the shop, i.e. my hard work, for 1 day a week. But yeah, he won't buy YouTube Premium. Swine. It'd be funny as hell if I go in tomorrow and there's an email saying, Mike, I saw your thing and I've bought YouTube Premium.
Or you were sacked.
Or you're sacked.
You always try, but
yeah.
So far, bless his heart.
When I was at the BBC, I was desperate to try and get sacked. And I knew I was in a pretty good position there to not get sacked, because it's actually really hard to get sacked from the BBC unless you, well, you've probably read the news, so you probably know what you can do to get sacked from the BBC, which is a little bit more than my pay grade would go to. But yeah, it was great. I was obnoxious, like properly obnoxious, especially to some of the senior management. And it was great. I absolutely loved it.
Well, they weren't employed, were they?
Yeah, most of them were on a lesser contract than I was. It was absolutely brilliant. I loved it. There's a feeling of tremendous relief when you basically don't care if you get sacked or not. So you can do and say pretty much whatever you want, and if there's repercussions, you're like, okay, whatever. I really...
But that's the thing, you weren't doing anything wrong, were you?
I wasn't doing anything wrong, I just didn't want to be there.
But you were just telling them truth.
Yeah, I was telling them the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the unfiltered truth. And they don't want to hear it. They couldn't handle the truth. And they generally couldn't, honestly. It was great. They said, Mike, can you go on the fire warden's course? They're like, no. What do you mean, no? It's like, well, I'd quite happily see this place burn to the ground. And just said it to them straight. And there was the production manager and the producer and my boss, line manager.
You said if you saw a fire, you'd probably chuck petrol.
That's right, yeah. I said if
help it go.
If I saw a fire, I'd open the door and throw petrol on to make sure that it kept on going. And the trouble is, I think I said it so convincingly that they actually believed it and they didn't put me on the fire warden course.
Or the first aid.
The first aid course was better because I said half of the bastards I work with here, I'd quite happily watch bleed out. That was probably taking things a little far. But it still makes me laugh. got to have a laugh in your work, haven't you? If you don't have a laugh, what have you got? Apart from probably a job. But it was fantastic. It was so liberating. Now, don't get me wrong, I still did my job and I worked my ass off. I really did. But I just didn't play any of their games. It's like, nah. I'm going to work hard, but I'm working hard for me, and I'm doing things the way I want to do them. And if you don't like it,
the way you want to do them, it's the right way.
well, yeah, I was just being a normal person, a human being, rather than being a robot. They didn't like it. It was fun though. I had a lot of fun. And to be honest with you, I think my boss, my line manager, bless his heart, since departed, whenever I said anything that was like, oh my God, I can't believe you said that, he would always have that glint in his eye as if to say, I wish I could say that. And he was the person who used to say that before he got made where he is, because he kind of accepted that poison chalice of senior management. And yeah, you have to kind of, you have to sort of temper what you say. It's a shame really, because he used to come up with some absolute classics. Anyway. It's funny that my fondest memories of the BBC are me basically trying to get fired. Right, PCI Express riser card. These are ridiculous. Like, no. Actually ridiculous. The price of these things is insane. Like this, I think, was about 30 quid, and that was because it was an Amazon return. Normally they're about 40 for a PCI Express riser card. You can buy an entire motherboard for this kind of money. Well, probably not so much now, but you certainly could do. So I think it's probably best we get this installed. I also have to, I think if I'm right in thinking, I've got to take out this back section as well for the graphics card. I've pretty much done most of the wiring. There's a few auxiliary cables there, which we'll take a look at a little bit later. Let's spin that round. Right round, baby, right round, like a record.
Helicopter.
Hello? Yeah. Right, so this, in order to make this PCI Express Gen whatever upside downable, you have to take out these 4 screws.
45 for riser and cable.
Yeah, 45 quid is not good. I paid less than that, like I say, because it was an Amazon doodah deal. Doodah deal, doodah deal.
I've heard you can just cut the ends off it.
Don't even go there. Now this is the bit where I get confused, because when you turn this inside out like that, I can never quite work out where the blanking plates go. So I'm going to take out at least the last 2, I think, because those are going to be on that bit there. I'm pretty sure. And then I've got a feeling that one's going to have to come out, or that one. Actually, I might take them all bloody out. So that kind of goes in. Oh no, what am I doing? It goes in that way. So you kind of have to work out which slots you're going to use. Now I want to use these 3, I think. So I'm going to take out those. Is this a 2-slot card or a 3-slot card? I can never remember. We're definitely not using the end slot, so I'm going to get rid of that. Don't bend down.
This is about to get completely zooted.
What does that even mean?
Don't know. It's a truck fan.
Truck fan. He just come out with some bizarre things. Bless your heart, truck fan.
Let's take some all out and then put some in later.
Well, in theory, that would be a great idea for this, but because of this is recessed inside, unless I take out the fan after, it's almost impossible to do, and I might have to take the fan out anyway. But this was one of the worst design decisions ever made by Lian Li for this bracket. It's kind of cool how it works, but it is nowhere near as well done as Thermaltake did with theirs. I'm not just saying it because Thermaltake do a lot of stuff with us. I'm saying it because it's the truth. But this is a horrible design. But it is quite simple, so they say, what the Lord giveth, the Lord taketh away. And where is that not fitting in there very well? Let's get these screws back in. Yeah, this is a lot of hassle to go through for what it is, really. But, like I said, I might as well do it while I'm entertaining and getting paid.
To zoot. This is Truck Fan's words.
Yeah.
To zoot means to mess something up, or to cause a blooper, or to remove something that's been tricky.
That needs to go on a t-shirt. I zooted this right up. Is that a blanking? This hasn't gone well for me, I don't think.
For example, count this CPU just zoot out of there. So count that back plate, just zoot. The graphics card in it. Is that right?
I don't know. I don't think I'm a high enough pay grade to even answer that.
Rick says, Mike, there's still time to install the art card.
There is. You're absolutely right. But
Yeah, this is completely zooted.
I don't think I can. I don't think I can do it to myself.
You F up so they don't have to.
Exactly.
Man.
Yeah, I've ruined it so you guys can avoid it like the plague and do something completely different. Now this, something else which is actually a pain in the backside with this, which you'll see now, is when it comes to PCI Express risers, which I don't know if you can see that now actually. So, because they're all kind of semi-universal, you've got this stupid track, so you can kind of slide it forward and backwards depending on how big or small the card is. But it's not a really nice design. So I might end up putting the GPU actually on there first of all. Feels like those are too far forward now, but that is the right place. This feels all kinds of wrong. It's getting worse by the second. I'm going to have to try this.
It was nearly even massively worse when you nearly dropped that.
It was. I'm glad no one noticed.
I noticed so they didn't have to.
Yeah. Right, so that can go there.
Will you be able to refit the blanking plates easily?
No, definitely not.
Are you using OBS or other software?
I am using OBS. Right, I think I need to go home. Can I go home? I don't like this game anymore. It's rubbish.
Oh, we're getting all the tinderchat.com adult chat.
Yay, adult chat.
I can't do anything. It won't let me use my moderator skills.
Skills have been wasted.
Or will it?
Right, what connections have I got down that end? Don't have anything there. Right, okay. Oh, you shithead. This is where this gets really annoying because there's a screw which is just in there, which I've got an absolute snowball's chance of getting. I have got
Tinderchat.com, get zooted.
Get zooted, you bastards.
You are a zoot head.
Isn't that a phrase from years ago? Because didn't a famous singer-songwriter thing have a thing about that? Don't mess with my zoot zoot.
I don't know, but there was a band called Zoot. David Underhill said in Australia who did Thingy Rigby and sold more songs than the Beatles.
Wow.
Called Zoot.
That is pretty cool. Right, I've managed to get it with the iFixit tool.
Jonathan Tolbert, how in the world did you get the bottom portion where your email is? I've been trying to figure out that for a while.
Oh, that is it's basically a JPEG. And if I highlight it, where are we? Lower third. So if I click on Control, it's basically just a shrunken down. No, not Control. That's the other one. Oh, come on. Oh, that'll do.
But I can't really see what you
If I press the Alt key, and stretched up. So basically I've just put that onto an image. Oh, there we go. So I made an image which was 1920 by 1080 and just put that at the bottom, and then to make it kind of see-through at the top, I just press the Alt key and drag that down to wherever I want it to be. So then you can only see a certain element of it. And that is just a free floating JPEG. Just try and lock it back in. There we go.
Zoot is the word of the stream. Hubba hubba zoot.
Jesus.
The card have the dual BIOS switch.
It's not a dual BIOS switch. No, well, it kind of is, but it isn't really a dual BIOS. It's a recovery BIOS. So it doesn't make any changes to the actual performance of the card, but if your card fails for some reason, you are able to recover or to switch to the other BIOS.
Can you make an announcement about Zoot being the word of tonight's stream?
Zoot is officially the word of the
Today's
stream.
stream has been brought to you with the letter Z.
Yeah, and the word Zoot. Didn't there used to be, now I'm not old enough to know this, but I'm sure if there's someone in here that will be, potentially. Wasn't there a thing in the 60s as a Zoot suit? Wasn't that a thing? There was like a certain group of individuals that wore Zoot suits. I might have to Google that, but I'm sure that's a thing. Well, when I say I'm sure, I'm not really sure, so I'm asking, but you know what I'm saying. Oh, like, this is...
Toot toot.
Zoot zoot.
It's a blooper buster. And Jonathan said 5K. Where did that even come from?
It's in the kitchen, isn't it? Right, I don't know how close that needs to be, so I'm going to have to work this out a minute. Can you actually see what I'm doing here? I think she fell out the window a bit. So as you can see, this has got a little bit of movement on it. And trying to get this actually lined up where it needs. I'm sure this wasn't this difficult when I did it before. I swear the camera makes it more difficult. Right, so that is going to go in there. Oh. There we go, that's just about sunken in there now. But the stupid thing is now, I really should have done those screws back up a little bit, but you can't really get to them now. You can't from behind or anything. So it's kind of like a stupid idea really, the way they've set this up.
What is wrong?
Doesn't make any sense at all. But anyway, it is what it is, and now clearly to put the graphics card in, I've got absolutely zero chance of doing up the screws because the fan's in the way, so I've got to take that out now. Oh my goodness gracious. I have tried it with the fan slotted up towards the top, and you just can't get enough purchase on it, and the graphics card ends up slopping around. So it's going to be easier just to stop messing around and take the bloody fan out. So in this case, the case when it's built is flipping excellent. It truly is. But to get it into that state, it's hard work. So let's set that back up on there. I'm going to try and get some screws into this darn thing. I think this is one of the reasons why I'd waited a while until... Actually, that's still not going to be easy to do because there's what's it called in the way. Let's see if I can use a stubby screwdriver. So yeah, trying to get into here is absolute chaos. So definitely no graphics card upgrades for the foreseeable, because I am not, I repeat, not opening this crap up again.
You need a t-shirt saying I was zooted by Mike's unboxing.
That'll be a top seller.
Jay Gordon said 20s or 30s, I think.
What? Oh, what for the Zoot suit? Thank you. I thought it was definitely a thing.
Oh, El Pachico wore it. Was it? A Zoot suit is a men's suit with high-waisted, wide-legged, tight-cuffed, pegged trousers and long coat with wide lapels and wide padded shoulders.
1940s. Got you.
And
Thank you.
hammer.
Whoa! Can't touch this. Right, that graphics card is moving around a little bit, but it's just ridiculous. You cannot. Oh Christ! Right, if I put this round now, you can see
The sky's still going.
there's literally nothing you can do there, really.
Wasn't that called a leisure suit, as in Leisure Suit Larry? I loved Leisure Suit Larry.
Leisure Suit Larry, what a game!
Oh my god.
Right, I'm going to pause for a minute and have a little slurp of my drink. Is that brand new, that drink?
Fairly. Dave Hall's in, missed us.
Hello, Dave.
That's quite a while ago. You can catch that.
Lovely. Oh, that fan's filthy as well. I can't be arsed to clean it. So I think in terms of the actual layout of the case now, I think that graphics card fills up that space much nicer.
Rick reckons you should wear a Zoot suit.
I'd be lucky to get in a bloody suit, mate.
He needs to get into the suit.
I've got more chance of getting into a bloody straight jacket these days.
You just need to get into your birthday suit.
Yeah, my birthday suit's starting to stretch.
Last man standing said, I've heard of a birthday suit. It just made me realise.
Right, I've got to try and get those PCI Express blanking plates in now for the rest of it. This is not going to be fun. I don't know how I'm going to do it. I knew... I'm tempted to just take all this out of here actually and chuck it in the other case. I do like this case though, but this is just ridiculous. It's too much. Too much.
And you've got to take the cupboard off, your cupboard door off to get it in and out.
I have actually, yeah. It doesn't fit in my my desk properly, so I have to undo it every time. I literally have to take the door off my cupboard. Actually, can I plug? Oh yeah, I can. Right. Oh dear. Yeah, this is made. I actually said about this in the review video. I said this is like absolute stupidly shit design for doing vertical GPUs. And the amount of grief I got in the comments, oh, you're just an idiot, blah blah blah. It's super easy. I've never seen an easier case to work on. It's like, are you absolutely mental? Clearly.
Is it because you're left-handed though?
Well, I don't think it makes a difference if you're bloody triple-handed. It won't make no difference. It's really hard to get to. If it wasn't for the fact that I've actually...
You're kind of a bit ass backwards, aren't you, when you're left-handed? No offence.
None taken.
But, like, if I want to paint that corner of the room, it's easy, but
Yeah.
if I want to paint the other, it's hard.
Well,
so
no,
you do it.
yeah, it's...
So
I
it's
well,
like your hands are in different angles.
maybe
aren't
it
they?
is. Maybe it's just a leftist thing. Maybe Lian Li are leftists.
Have
Bastards.
small hands, and we all know what small hands mean.
Big penis. No?
That's it, isn't it? Maybe
Oh, yeah.
it is big of these little hands.
Little hands, big penis. Oh, that mother effer. Right.
And lucky man, his birthday soup is a growth spurt.
This, right. Because of where the motherboard shield is now, I can't actually get the screw into the third one in.
Screw it with confidence.
I can't even screw it with anything, let alone confidence. Thank you for the super chat, whoever. Stuart.
To all mubbers, if money was not a factor, what PC case would you get?
Who's asking that?
Stuart.
To mubbers. Right, mubbers, that is a question from Mr. Cleary. What case, if money was not an issue, would you purchase? I'm not sure if I don't think I'm allowed to answer that.
You can answer it. You can say, in mine,
Well, I wouldn't be this bloody thing again.
I zooted with this one.
Actually, I probably would buy this again, but I just wouldn't use a vertical GPU in it because it's just a bloody pain in the ass. suppose, actually, I wonder if I can... Bastard! Bastard, bastard, bastard! How many times can I say bastard on YouTube before I get demonetized? Right, I reckon if I undo these 4 screws...
Truck fan says at least...
Actually, no, I can't do that, can I? Because the graphics card is welded to the floor. So it makes no difference at all.
At least the disco ball is zooting correctly. No, it's not. I have to get up and manually do it and turn the light on.
Yeah, Kath is...
I am the zooted.
She is the zoot master.
TT Series 500, Nick Barnes.
Yeah, the Series 500 I think is pretty much, well, that thing there is probably one of the best design cases that I've seen in a long time.
And is it inverted?
And it's slightly inverted as well.
Lian Li 01 Dynamic Evo XL truck fan.
Here's what I found.
Was it zooted?
Zoot.
Your phone is your watch is zooted.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Excuse my French.
Happy with my F15. What have you done now?
It's just, this is just a stupid, interesting. Interesting. What was that from? The bottom, wasn't it?
Probably.
Good old Rick Mail. Bless his heart. Rest in peace. And stuff. Right, let's see if I can get this in there. Yeah, because now where this is actually lying, well, you can see the line of the motherboard. So clearly I can't get a screw above there. What an absolute cluster F.
Rick H would get the Corsair 4000D airflow.
4000D is not bad. The trouble is with the 4000D is that it lacks the ability for a 360 rad in the top, and with the way that processors are heading, realistically a 360mm rad is going to be almost mandatory for most modern processors going forward. And Intel 14th gen is definitely going to be it because it's even hotter than the previous lot.
Gary is a height, is it? Y60 in red? Which
Height, yeah, height are nice. They're not really that, I wouldn't say popular, they're not that not available in many places here in the UK from what I can see.
Nick Warren asks,
Could be wrong.
which case would you swap the Lian Li to?
See, that is a really interesting question. I think if I was going to swap this to, well, because of where it physically lives in that desk space I've got over there, which you've probably seen already, it's absolutely tiny. So this is about the most width I can get. So I am limited on the old girth. Girth. Limited on that. So it is kind of limiting on what I can choose. If I had my choice, I would have the Series 500 in there without any shadow of a doubt. But physically it's too wide to fit in the desk. And actually yeah, because the side USBs and the little bit on the side are basically pointless. So yeah, sadly that doesn't work out for me as much as I would like it to, because I think that would be a very, very good option for me. But it isn't to be, so whatever.
Lucky man would have the Corsair 5000D. I missed him.
Yeah, I think the 5000D is a good shout. The 5000D makes good of the problems with the 4000D in terms of what you can physically fit inside it, which makes a big difference because, like I said, 360mm rad in the top, or even having multiple fans in there, it does make a lot more sense. I did like the 4000D, and for most people, I would probably recommend it up until probably AM5 come out in this. Now that AM5's out and we can see where the industry is starting to head, it is looking like CPUs are going to be getting hotter and hotter, so they are going to require bigger and bigger coolers or water cooling.
I would get another Lian Li Evo David Underhill.
I would be tempted to get a Lian Li 011 of some sort. I think they're a pretty decent shout. A little bit easier to work on. I quite like the Techwear VXR. That was quite a nice case to work in. I wouldn't mind another one of those.
Chris Hartford, I have a Corsair 4000X. Nothing else has caught my eye.
The 4000X, the Corsair did a really good job with the whole look of those cases. They do look great. They really do. You can't really knock Corsair's design. It is a great design. Have I got something here which will do that? This is a really awkward screw in a really awkward place. Let's try that one. It needs to be like 90 degrees, but I don't even think this is going to get in there. If I can get it started, it'll be alright. I don't think I'm going to though. Wouldn't be so bad, but some idiots put a bloody water cooler in here.
If CPUs start burning enough power that you can't air cool them, I don't think they are useful for general consumer use.
Oh my god.
Too much power heat in one spot.
Yeah, it's I agree totally. It's very much overkill. And I've just lost the bloody screw. You forgot. Oh man. Oh, hey! Trying to get the.
Dropping it.
I thought I was.
You were like, hey!
Hey!
You were like, what's happening?
Got a bit of dust out there. Right, I think I might leave that blank, or leave it open rather, because this is just a pain. Absolute pain in this shithead. I think I just made up some new words there. I wonder if I can get the screw in. See, this would be a lot easier if the graphics card wasn't in the way. I should have done this first. I can.
I found this on the web.
Oh god, what's it do on the web all the
Cough.
time? He's constantly on the web.
Yeah. I think, yeah, if I'd have thought about this a bit more carefully, it would have been right. I am going to take the graphics card out. I think I'm going to have to. Oh, I don't want to take the graphics card out. This is just pain.
Right.
Please, can someone get me back my Game Max F15?
I got it.
I know.
Over here. You can have it.
What are you going to use?
I could just use my phone for a bit.
I don't think you're going to edit videos on your phone.
Use your laptop.
You'd be lucky.
Plugged in.
I don't think my laptop would edit videos, to be
That's
fair.
only my little one, isn't it?
Yeah. Might do it. Right. Beginning to wish I never started this. Right, so now I can actually gain some access. So that is what I'm trying to get into there. I'm not sure if you can even see that. Sorry, I have been neglecting the camera work slightly. So that has to go in there to blank that off. I could, of course, just have left it open, empty. But
Is access to GPU hidden?
yeah, pretty much. No, the ports are just about fine. That works out okay. But that there, I don't know if you can see. I'll turn it around a bit more.
I can't, my
So just there.
moderator stuff don't work.
So yeah, I can't basically get the screw in because the IO shield is directly over the top of it, which is bloody stupid. So I guess now the graphics card's out, actually, I can just undo those screws, can't I? Put those back in and then slide back in. Oh dear lord.
My moderator stuff didn't work. So
Shirk fan, Kath can't moderate because she's on her phone. Do it on your desktop though.
Oh yeah, I could do it on yours. It's your account on here though, isn't it? Not that it makes a difference, but...
Something else with this actually is when you do a vertical mounted GPU, you lose access to your M.2 slots without taking the graphics card out. which isn't, again, is not the end of the world. You can just take the graphics card out, can't you? But when it's this much palaver, it makes you not want to do it. I should take a picture of this and say this is how you have it for vertical mount, and then forget completely.
Lucky Man said it won't let them time it out either.
Alright. Just ban them.
And then I have done it now.
Yeah.
Sky Stalkers hit the Tinder dude.
Tinder dude.
I think it's meant to be a woman, isn't it?
See, I did have it so that the chat was set so that you could only post a comment if you were a subscriber. Because I thought to myself, well, if they're going to send spam, as long as they subscribe, I don't care. That's fine. Do it. But most spam bots won't subscribe to your channel. Maybe I need to turn that back on. I did turn it off so that Loner could actually post stuff and get in the chat because he lost his login to his YouTube.
Again.
Have you met Loner?
Right, Brandon says, Mike just did a BIOS update and the CPU light is on. What do I do?
Take out the BIOS battery for about 10 minutes.
Save name.
Brandon.
Rose.
Brandon, take your BIOS battery out your motherboard, and reset the CMOS. I'm assuming that your BIOS update took about 5 minutes and it went through all the usual stuff where it's flash slow, flash fast, blah, 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 rebooted. If it didn't do that, or it only flashed for like a couple of seconds, and then your CPU light come on, it basically means your BIOS hasn't flashed and you need to start over. Right, I can do this screw up now, which I'm going to regret ultimately. If for some reason that doesn't solve your problem, Kath's already put the Discord link in, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I recognise the sound of those clicks. Right, have I done this right? Please fit. Please fit, or there may be actual tears.
Dutch jam fried as well, but it didn't work to get them away.
Thanks anyway. Right, that fits now, and it's snug. I'm moderately happy.
Stuart Cleary, so the 5000D and the 4000D Airflow Lian Li 011 are the ultimate cases.
I don't know. Ultimate case is a bit of a. It depends what everybody wants, doesn't it? Everyone's a little bit. Everyone's different, really, on what it is they actually want out of a case. Like for me, because I'm faffing around with stuff all the time, I want a case which is really easy to access and use, and unlike this. So yeah, it depends. Like some people have got, maybe they like a specific type of RGB in their case, or I don't know. It's hard to say really. There isn't a perfect case because everyone has a different taste. Like some people like NZXT stuff. Me personally, it's not my cup of tea. It's a little bit too angular, modern, and I would argue actually even slightly a bit dated now.
Modern and dated.
No, but it's got that kind of modern PC look, which was modern like 5-10 years ago. And because they haven't really changed that design, it kind of, it's give it a certain date. So, yeah. It's a hard one to explain, really. I didn't explain it particularly well.
Mashy, I got myself the Logitech MK295 today because of you.
Oh, nice one. Yeah, 295 is awesome. That's what I'm using at the moment. In fact, the 295 is my my weapon of choice for streams.
Abdella, can you see it?
Is it nice? I can't, unfortunately.
Which is better, RX 6600, 6600 XT, or R5 5600 or 5600X?
That's all basically the same. So, right, well the XT versions or the X versions are normally the overclocked versions, so it's essentially the same thing, just faster. So a 5600X is going to be faster than the 5600, but probably more expensive. And likewise with the GPU, the RX 6600 is going to be slightly slower than the RX 6600 XT, but you probably pay a premium for it. The processor I probably wouldn't bother paying the premium for. The graphics card, if you're into games, I probably would. The graphics card actually makes a little bit more sense paying a bit more for, in my somewhat humble opinion. Right, I need to plug these in. So to plug them in, I'm going to unplug them, because that seems like a really sensible thing to do. Because trying to get an 8-pin, I don't like these split connections anymore. They're very frustrating. They don't really lock in. Maybe it's just because it's these Thermaltake ones where they just kind of push on the side. They don't have that slot mechanism that we used to get, which is a bit of a pain, I think, personally. Oh, come on. You will fit. On pain of death. Oh, please. Please, Lord, give me a graphics card with PCI Express Gen 5 so I can just plug it in and forget about it. That would be lovely. Alright, I'm going to pull that cable all the way out, because I've probably twisted it. Oh no, I haven't. Yeah, I have.
You got a hole under your armpit?
Don't know, have I?
I think you have when I saw you lean over.
Got a sweat mark there, or thingy mark.
Looks like a big hole. Yeah, there.
Ain't no hole.
Is it not?
No. It's pristine Mike's Unboxing t-shirts. What's the matter with you? That's where the arm.
Where?
That's the armhole.
Is it?
Yeah. Ain't no holes in the Mike's Unboxing t-shirt. How dare you?
Look like a hole.
Kath, what are you trying to do? You're trying to scupper our entire business model.
Did you wear it? Most, not that
I
particular
do.
one, but those ones every day.
I do. They've lasted really well.
Is that the original one, or the second lot?
This is the second lot because it's got the
Oh yeah,
little logo.
In it.
Huh?
That's the third lot, isn't it?
It might be actually. Yeah, it is. You're right. Yeah, it is. Third.
In 7 years.
Well, we'll have to get the bubble hats soon. Like some Unboxing bubble hats for Christmas.
Sound is low.
Who says?
Dutch Jan.
Jan.
Not here.
It shouldn't be. Or it might be because I was leant over my mic. Hello? You may have noticed a slight temporary increase in volume there.
Does so look like a hole, like when you lean over it.
It's not a fucking hole. Just leave me alone.
That does look like a hole, doesn't it?
It's just my armpit. The fuck? Right. I'm doing it like this from now on.
David Underwood can't really shit himself.
Sorry about that. I'm very conscious now. Give me some kind of complex.
That's the double-sided tape on it.
Jeez.
Rick H thinks there's a hole as well.
He says no, there's a hole. There's not a bloody hole. Right.
Let me have a look. No, there isn't, is there?
No.
It so appears there's a hole on the...
Look. There's no hole. There's a hole there for my arm to come out. That's meant to be there.
One for your head.
And one for my head. Oh my lord. Is it a full moon today? Oh no, it's a solar eclipse, that's what it is.
What? Reflecting on your hole under your armpit?
No, all the lunas are out.
Get some duct tape, Mike.
You guys. Oh, please.
There's never enough holes in the world for me. Letter.
Oh God.
Stuart's clear his work shirt has a massive hole under the arm. I don't give up. Bollock.
Don't give a rat's arse. Oh, Lord. Oh,
Solar
Lord.
eclipse in Canada. It's cloudy. You right, Pops?
There was a solar eclipse today which went from, I think it was Oregon through to South Africa, I think. So like a lunar eclipse. I don't have no GPU sag. And I can also put my pipes down a little bit now. Get your pipes down, son. Ah, dear. Right.
Need the new move straight jacket with or without extra holes. Poppy Dora, no.
Poppy Dora, what you like?
Ian McLeod had the solar eclipse there in Texas.
Yay! Texas. I like Texas. I think I do anyway. Poppy! Careful!
What's about the glass there?
Behind it, yeah. Poppy!
Get in the box. Have some kittens.
Gonna have some kittens, for Christ's sakes, woman.
Probably wait until the morning now.
Right, let's adjust these view. Keith McAllister, God bless your heart, with a £10 super chat. Thank you very much, Keith. Much appreciated. And for that, you can have some flashy lights.
Just when Mike wants to see.
Just when I need to see what I'm screwing in. But it doesn't matter because I'll probably mess it up anyway.
If PCs could leak storage, would it be in the form of a pile of floppy disks underneath the PC?
Yeah, they just, well no, I think they just leak water. I think that'd be the more appropriate. Right, that is in good working order.
Where did Popsur go?
Popsy-doral.
Are there any holes to screw through? What, in the armpit?
In the armpit. What's the bet? Oh, actually, no, they're alright. I can still gain access to my ports.
Raining and 15C in Ohio.
Oh, no. It's currently, it is 7 degrees Celsius here in the UK. And in here, it is currently at 21.2 degrees Celsius. And considering we don't actually have any heating on at all, other than multiple PCs all blasting out.
The hole in Mike's armpit.
And yeah, the armpit holes. I'm venting.
I'm feeling it.
It's good exercise as well. I can do the chicken. Anyway, that's enough of that. I have actually lost my mind. Right, where is my side panel? I think I can put the side panel back on now without any real fear of retribution. Retribution, that was a good word, wasn't it? Write it down. Where's my screw? There we go. Okie dokie. Right, one screw. If MSI or any of the other companies that we work with are watching this and you're considering sending me a graphics card for demonstration or review, please don't, because this isn't moving now. This is it. Until this PC dies, this is the way it's going to be. Well, unless MSI want to send me a new DDR5 version of the Tomahawk board, that would change things. I would be tempted to do the whole swap over for that reason. But that would be the only reason I'm taking this apart again, I think, until it goes pop, which it shouldn't do. Okie dokie, right. So there is the semi-finished product, and I think that looks pretty sweet. Graphics card wise, it's not really the best of the light, is it? But I think that fills the space quite nicely.
This stream is Zubar, zooted up beyond repair.
It probably is. You're not wrong.
Rick says release the hounds to find Mike's mind.
Yeah, lots of luck with that. Oh, for those of you that are interested, well, you're probably not actually, but I finally listed the PC for sale on Facebook Marketplace, the one that we did, was it last week that we put that PC together, or was it the week before?
A while ago, wasn't it?
Can't remember now. It's where we changed over the cables that I was talking about a little bit earlier. So the PCI Express thing. Basically the John's Bow case. So that is finally up for sale.
The ASBO.
The ASBO case, yeah.
Keith McAllister, sorry,
Hi Keith.
said, want to put an EATX motherboard in a Thermaltake I always want to call it carriers.
Series, yeah.
300, and I asked for trouble.
An EATX. I'm not sure. ATX would be fine. EATX, I don't know. Because of where the grommets are for the pass-through. That might be a problem. Because EATX is a little bit wider. Yeah, that's a tough one. I honestly don't know. Without having a Series 300 here actually out of the box to take a look at, I would struggle to answer that. But I don't think it catered for EATX in the specs. I don't think that was ever mentioned. Or was it? I don't think it was. Yeah, I'd have to know the measurements of the motherboard and have a case on hand to really validate that one way or the other. I would say you're probably asking for trouble. I would probably go, would you stop listening to my conversations, you bastard? Sorry, talking to Siri.
That's not Siri. Siri's an Australian woman.
G'day, Siri, you bastard.
She's Australian on mine.
Right.
Dave Hall says it's 12 degrees here in Bristol, WI.
It says 7 degrees on here.
Yeah, but Bristol, WI, that's America, isn't it?
Oh, Bristol, Wisconsin, is that?
Might be. I don't know how to say it.
WI?
That's what I was going to say.
Or yeah, Washington's WA, isn't it?
And then...
Yeah, it must be Wisconsin.
Does it puke? Looking good. Does it puke rainbows, though?
Oh yes, that we will be getting to, because we are going to be puking some serious rainbow vomit from this sucker.
In a weird accent, I have this case and I love it.
I love it. Yeah, it's nice. I like it. It's frustrating, but I do like it.
If you didn't like it, you wouldn't have it.
Yeah, if I didn't like it, it would not exist under my desk.
Yeah. You're right about the Bristol one.
Ah.
I can't say that word.
Yeah, Wisconsin. Is Wisconsin near...
Utah.
No, what's the one I'm thinking of? Oh, God. Which is the Keystone State? I'm trying to think, is that... There's one that's known as is it Keystone State? I want to say Pittsburgh, but I don't think it's Pittsburgh. It's something like that.
Aww.
Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania, I think, is that Keystone State?
You're thinking of Vermont, and that's not it.
No, not Vermont. That wasn't one.
WI is Midwest, a few hours from Chicago or
Milwaukee.
Yeah.
Or Milwaukee, as it's pronounced by the Indians.
And in
I watched weird Wayne's World. I know what it's all about. Right.
Ian McKay said, Dave Aiken said it was a nice looking build, and he said, I like how smart, clean it looks. He did a great job worth the time.
You me?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Well, I assume so.
I'm really confused now. Do you remember at the start of this video, dear viewer, we had a conversation and I said, I'll disconnect the RGB now so I know which one it is because that connects into the front hub. And I said, I'll leave that cable up here, hanging. Do you remember me saying that, viewer? I remember me saying that. And that is a that is a female connection. But the one that comes from the actual control box, which is supposedly gonna plug in there, is also a male connection. Now, in some universes, in some places, male to male does work. In this particular instance, not so much. So let's refer back to the instruction guide which I have here in my hands. So, RGB fan, RGB hub. Included only in RGB version. So, on the hub, which is that way round, there should be a cable coming out of the very end, which is...
You got to do a bit of geography while you're doing that.
Yeah, love a bit of geography.
Near Lake Michigan, southwest part of Lake Michigan. I am halfway between
Milwaukee?
Yeah, and Chicago. West side of Kenosha.
Right, Kenosha. I know some parts of America a little bit, but not many, to be fair. Right, they're lying to me now.
And Brandon says, Mike, the battery was out for 10 mins and the CPU light is still on.
Right, so answer the other question. Did the BIOS flash take about 5 minutes to process? Because if it didn't, then you're missing something else from the equation. I'm not too sure what. So,
And Rich Warren says, why are you fitting the new control panel again?
Right, the new control panel has additional buttons on it to control the inner and outer RGBs.
Inside and out.
Got interior and exterior RGBs.
Sorry, Brandon.
Oh no, I'm being a knobhead. No, I am being a knobhead, sorry. I'm completely wrong. It is the other one has to connect to this thing.
Brandon says yes to your question.
Oh, what? It did take that long?
But we had the CPU in.
Is the 8-pin EPS connector plugged in at the top? In the top left-hand corner? Is that the one above?
No, it's the bottom one.
All right.
But I don't know.
Thank you very much for the PayPal donation from JR. I'm not too sure if I'm allowed to say your name because, truthfully, I don't know what your YouTube name is, so it could be someone else altogether. But JR, if you know who you are on the YouTube and you want to be known, or you don't mind me knowing who you actually are on YouTube, please let me know because I can't see your name in the. Well, I can't see any chat to be fair, but can I see that name? No, I can't. Ah, right. 1C1. What's that? One Caviper. Thank you very much for your PayPal stuff. That's awesome. Viper 1 Cav. Got you. Thank you. Much appreciated.
Oh yeah, see it now. 1 Cav Viper.
1 Cav Viper. Thank you very much.
And thank you because you've given one before. We've had that before, haven't we?
Have we?
I'm pretty sure we've had that one before.
Yeah, sometimes like some of you send through stuff on PayPal or whatever, and it's like it's amazing, but sometimes you don't put your name on or a name that we recognise from YouTube.
Yeah, we had one on the 3rd of September as well.
So
thank you.
Yeah, thank you for the one in September as well. When was it? The 3rd of September?
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much. It is appreciated. Even if we don't sometimes say thank you, we do appreciate it. It's just we don't always see it. Well, I don't. But thank you.
Brandon, brand new motherboard and CPU.
That don't really answer the question.
Hold on. Okay, I'll redo the BIOS update.
Don't redo it, just answer the question.
What was the question? Say again.
Did it take 5 minutes to do?
I think they answered that, yes.
Oh right, okay. I didn't
Yes,
hear the
sir.
answer. Right, okay.
Yes, but we had the CPU in. I told you that one.
Right, okay. Yeah, sorry. I'm multitasking. I'm not very good at it. You guys should know this. Right, I'm going to try and make this tidy now. I don't think I'm going to be able to actually, but I will try. So yeah, if it took about 5 minutes to flash, and you've still got the CPU light on, then it's either going to be the CPU isn't fully in, or isn't in properly, or the power's not in properly. It's really rare if you get a BIOS to flash to actually get the CPU light to come on after. It shouldn't do, especially if you've reset the BIOS.
What if the BIOS didn't take properly?
If the BIOS didn't take properly, it shouldn't have taken 5 minutes. It would normally have stopped before then. If it went through the process, did the slow, fast, all that stuff, and then rebooted itself and didn't work, that normally points to something else.
Discord is probably the easiest one.
Yeah, you can post it on Discord, and we can have a look, see what's going on. To be fair, there's a lot of it going on at the moment. There was a spate recently of, I'm not going to say which manufacturer it is, but there has been a manufacturer recently who has posted a new BIOS, which is basically brick boards. So you do have to bear in mind that even if your BIOS has flashed, there potentially might be issues with the BIOS itself, because
But you can go back, or you can.
well, in some cases yes, in some no. Right, this is bloody stupid now. Oh, mother effer. Right, so this has got to plug in to a header on the top of the board, and
Do it.
the cable isn't long enough,
No.
I don't think, without stretching. There is another addressable RGB port on the bottom of the motherboard, but it's behind the graphics card.
I could probably do it, but you'd have to put your hand over the camera.
That's right, I'm gonna try and do this. Stupidly, they made the cable that you don't need to plug in to the motherboard longer to reach the hub, which is over in that corner. And the trouble is with these pins, you don't want to force them because they've got a tendency for bending off. Or breaking.
Is that a technical term?
Yeah.
Do you want to catch a banana in your mouth? While you're
Oh,
there?
this is doing my head in. I hate this fucking case. Sorry, I know there's no need for language like that, but this is just ultra frustrating. It wouldn't be so bad, but the bloody addressable RGB thing is made for this case, but it's just too darn short. Because most people's addressable RGB header is going to be in the top of the motherboard somewhere, isn't it? Around this area. That is very, very common. But there is one down the bottom there, so I might have to take the graphics card out again. Oh man. To be honest, I don't really want to stretch the addressable RGB cable that much anyway. I want it to be neat, or neater. So we're going in from the bottom, lads and ladesses. Oh my god, I don't think I can even see it.
Can't you do a reach round?
I might have to. I am going to have to do an actual reach around. No, to be fair, that's not going to happen. And also, if I want to take the graphics card out now, I actually have to remove the back fan to get to the screws to take out the graphics card. Wow, this is so frustrating. I am starting to lose the will to live with this now. But I'm going to see it through because I want to see what the lights look like. Because that is the most important.
10 to 1, don't you? Your face.
Jeez.
Sorry.
Yeah, look. Like that, it will reach easily from this side, but routing it around there. It's just not quite short enough to make that bend. That's so pathetic. Ugh. Right. Can I take the graphics card out without removing that fan? I don't think so. But we'll try. This is why I said that this is a not well-designed case. I got absolutely slated for it. I cannot believe it as well. I got absolutely slated in the comments. Oh, Lian Li cases are the best. It's a really good design. You're an idiot, blah, blah, blah. It's like, okay, that's fine. You're more than welcome to think that, but the chances are that you haven't actually bought this case or probably haven't not even using it. Whereas I've actually got it here in front of me and I'm the one wrestling with the bloody thing. So you're more than entitled to your view, but maybe try using one and see what it's like.
Can't build this.
Can't build this. Right, now with the graphics card out of the way, I can actually get to, oh, don't tell me it hasn't got a USB on the bottom. Oh, no. It has got one, hasn't it? There's normally one down the bottom by the TPM port.
Not this time.
Flip.
Oh, it's okay, Poppy. Grandpa's okay. Don't like that. No, Grumpy.
Sorry, Pops. Don't be scared. It's just me. I'm about to blow multiple gaskets. Right, where is addressable? There's normally an addressable RGB here on pretty much all MSI boards, other than this one. Is it behind here? What's behind the blue door? Let's have a look, see. Right, ARGB, RGB, CPU. Actually, I'm going to plug that CPU in again. That don't look like it's in all the way. Right. JP2, no, JSB, JTPM, JRGB V2.1. I'm sure there's another one on this board, there must be. Ah, there we are. JRGB V2.2. There it is. Now, if the cable doesn't reach this, I will be very, very cross. I think it's going to be all right. Oh no. Will the cable... Come on, give me a break. This is not funny anymore. It's a good job I'm not Kerry Holzman. he'd be having absolute epileptic fits right now. I'm still not overly happy that this doesn't fit in the top there. It's only about an inch too short.
That's what she said.
Yeah. There we go. Pills are good. Yes! I am invincible. Clearly I'm not. Right. Let's move these out of the way. Hey, I've got a great idea. Let's put the graphics card in. We've not tried that yet. Oh God, why are you not fitting now? Come on, work with me. Work with me. Oh no, that is in. That looks lower. I'll tell you what, if I put it actually in the slot, that would be really helpful. I don't want to fit now. Stop being a swine. I think that sounded slightly better.
Hey, Flamey.
Yeah.
You feel this PC?
Please, someone come and build this PC for me. I really don't. Oh, does that move that again, though? It's alright. Why is that not fitting in there?
Flame, not in there.
Right, so the graphics card is in-ish. Oh, I've got to use the flexi screwdriver. So this is why having the bits on the inside is just such a stupid idea. It's absolutely ridiculous. Those screws should be easily accessible for maintenance purposes at least. I'm not taking it out again. I am taking it out again. Where did the screw go this time? Oh, it's stuck in there. Right, so integrated graphics it is then. There we go. Yeah, this is just a stupid design. And there isn't anything you can really do to kind of counteract it. Really, this bracket that rotates, they should have made it so you can possibly put it on the outside. So you still got access to all the screws on the outside. I think that would have been a much better way of implementing it. Because as it stands, it is it's pretty piss poor.
Sorry.
Oh, there's a super chat.
And a member.
And a member as well.
Sorry, I was.
Thank you very much. One Cav Viper, become a supporter. Thank you very much. And Raleigh's £10 saying Mike has not raged enough yet in this live stream. It's getting there. Ian McLeod says, Mike, you need a beer. I think that would make it harder. O'Reilly says, I have the same issue, losing screws. Yeah. Truck fan says, screw in space. Well, imagine that, they go everywhere. Dave Hall says, computer repairing can be a bit frustrating. I'm a bit of a burnout due to a simple hard drive crash, which turned out a fiasco due to a bad new SSD and possible bad off-brand CMOS 2042 batteries. Oh, it's terrible, isn't it? Dave also still fighting this problem. I am. This is, I think this is why I ended up going with a traditional horizontal GPU setup in here. Just because it's just simpler. As much as it looks nicer and this might be a few degrees cooler. And in terms of if I was trying to sell the PC, which I am actually not, it would be easier to sell in this configuration because ultimately, most people, when they're looking for a PC, that is what they are doing. They are looking with their eyeballs and they see shiny lights and vertical graphics cards and they're like, oh, must buy. And then you end up selling it, hopefully. Right, if I can get at least one... Oh, I don't want to take the fan out, asshole. Right, I'm going to take the bloody fan out. Absolute pain in the ass. It's just such a stupid design. And if nothing else...
What's your thoughts on the design?
What's my thoughts on the design? I actually quite like it. It's actually a very pretty case. And functionally, it's really good once it's built. It's just getting the damn thing put together, which is super frustrating. Especially seeing that one of their kind of key things in marketing was the fact that you can put in a vertically mounted GPU.
Ronnie says you should have an Asus Tough B550 motherboard.
Oh, fuck
And
off.
have 2 RGB 12 volt and 2 ARGB 5 volt headers.
Yeah, I have got, there is 2 on this board. I think most modern B550s and above come with at least 2 of each Lost that bloody screw again. Unbelievable. I had a full head of hair before I started doing PC stuff. And that is actual truth.
David Underhill. Okay, guys, so next time you bitch about the price of pre-built, you will totally understand why.
Yeah. Yeah, but with pre-builds, it isn't the time that it takes, it's the crap they put in them. But yeah, I see what you're saying.
David Hall, computer repairing can be a bit frustrating. I'm in a bit of a burnout due to...
I've just read that.
Oh, did you, sir?
Skystalk says, poor Mike is having a bad night. They're just all like this, really. I'm actually quite glad there was nothing available on Amazon day. I actually haven't made more than... How many videos have we done this week? 3? 2?
Not many.
There's been absolutely nothing to make videos on. There's an absolute drought of video content at the moment. There's nothing new, there's nothing exciting, everything's really expensive. The whole market is just basically a joke. It's really disappointing. And for someone who actually really loves PC stuff, it's a harsh thing, it's a harsh reality to get your head around, that the PC market is kind of on its ass, really. It really needs something new and fresh, and most of all, actually inexpensive. Because at the moment, everything is just so bloody expensive for what it is. And more times than not, it's not really much better than the old stuff. We're getting very, very small incremental upgrades. And I just can't, like, they're saying that the new Intel 14th gen parts are something like 5% faster than the previous gen. It's like, well, what is the actual point? If it's only 5% faster, don't bother. Just, most of us would be quite happy to wait. But businesses are run by shareholders, unfortunately. So they have to put something out new and fresh to tempt all the buyers. I can't believe that it's only 5% faster. I really can't. I'm hoping it's like 5% faster, but using considerably less power. But I don't think that is going to be the case. In fact, I'm almost 100% sure that that won't be the case. Which is a crying shame.
Not only 5% more costly.
No, 15% dearer apparently. Because new and shiny.
Are the 14th supposed to be more efficient?
Well, that would be the theory, that would have been like a sensible thing for them to do. But from what I can gather from early leaks, it doesn't appear that is the case. And it looks because they hit 6 gigahertz. And that, unfortunately, seems like it's going to require a reasonable dose of juice going into it. Right, I feel this is done. Famous last words. Again.
Keaton's Canister says this is better than any Saturday night movie role.
This is like a whodunit, but it's more like a will he do it.
Really do it.
Can he do it?
Scottish now.
Look at this. It's a horrible mess. Right, I'm going to get rid of some of these cables off the desk.
Intel sales will suffer. PC enthusiasts are normally savvy.
Yeah, in general, I would certainly agree. Most people, like, especially with modern motherboards being such a pain in the ass to even just get them working in the first place, is an absolute pain. Like, there's so many things that can go wrong. So if you think you're going to have to take apart your entire PC, rebuild the lot, hope and pray that it boots up and recognizes your new processor, because you know we've all been there, where it just CPU light comes on. If I had £1 for every time someone said to me my PC won't boot, the CPU lights come on, no joking, I reckon I would have well over at least £5,000. If I had a pound every time someone said it, easily 5,000 people that we've heard from that have had that problem. And considering the size of our channel, and actually it's probably more than that, I'm probably being quite conservative on that side of things. It's an extremely common problem. I've had it numerous times, hence why I've had to make videos to explain to people how I've kind of been able to remedy it. Anyway, yeah, so going through all that, spending an absolute ton of money, because I'm going to be, I would imagine the new Intel 14900K, it's got to be 600 quid. It's got to be. So 600 quid for a brand spanking new processor, which potentially might not even be recognised by your motherboard, is, I don't know, it's a lot of money to invest. And chances are, if you've got 600 quid to splash out on a processor, you've probably got a pretty decent one in there already. So yeah, it is, it's not great, especially for, like I said, 5% improvement in performance. If that is what the case is, what the deal actually is, I don't think it's worth it. Obviously new PCs will sell with them, but I can't see many people, like enthusiasts, buying them. Didn't someone say that just now, actually?
Nick Brown says, can you refit the black PSU because it looks better? Dean Henriksen, Mike, is the USB plug behind the GPU?
No. Well, yes it is, but we're not connecting it because this motherboard only has one USB 3.0. So unfortunately, the actual USB header, I don't have another one. And the only way I can get another one is to put a PCI Express card in there, which has a spare port. But I can't put another PCI Express card in because I've now blocked off the PCI Express ports. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get an adapter to convert USB 3.0 into USB 2.0 so I can still connect it to the motherboard header. But yes, I was preempting that. I was waiting for someone to say, Mike, you haven't plugged that in. And you'd be absolutely right, because I hadn't. But there was a reason behind that.
Lucky you just thought that all up.
Yeah. Good job. Right, I think, other than plugging back in the fans for the AIO, I think that is it. Feels like it isn't though. No, those aren't connected to anything. So those need to go to the hub. Hubba. And also, something else, they put the hub on here so tight at the top that it's actually really hard to plug anything in because of where it's physically positioned. But yeah. I'm not going to do any cable management to this. I'm just going to plug it in and see if it works. I want to see if that controller actually works as well. So if it doesn't, this will be going in one of the series cases or even the C700, and I'll smash that desk to pieces to make it all fit. Right, I need to get into the BIOS and I need a display. Do I need a display? So I'm thinking to myself here, so I'll be needing that. I was going to say I'll plug that into my new USB port, but I can because it's not connected to the motherboard. Right, where's my portable monitor here? That's over there now. Sorry for the long stream, everybody. We are getting there. We're almost at the finish line. Famous last words, they have.
Wiggling around in there. Still wiggling around in there. It's like different for her breathing, isn't it? It's wiggly.
Oh, poor little Poppy Dora. The little kittens are, you can see them wiggling around in her belly.
Not literally, not shapes of kittens.
No. It won't be long now. In some ways, I'm actually quite looking forward to it because I kind of like kittens, they're cute, but it's, oh god. It's the emotional attachment because you get used to having them around and then you've got to get rid of them. And don't say before you say it, keep them, because no. No, no, no. I've gone through the madness of having 4 cats in the house already. I don't plan on doing that again. Because it's just it's chaos with 3, to be honest. Right, where is the power cable gone? Right. Let's see if this actually works. Praise the Lord. Oh, well. That sounded good-ish. Now hopefully, I want to get into the BIOS on this, so... Is that on? Yeah. Oh. Display went for a second there. Always does that. Electric's near a shot.
Bang!
Thanks for that.
Oh, you were rubbish. You didn't even be affected.
Right, go into BIOS. Go into the BIOS, please. Come on, don't give me that no signal nonsense. Oh, come on. Oh no, here we go. Maybe? Or is it going to auto shutdown? Oh, come on. Arse. I can't see the diagnostic LEDs from in there.
And after all this, the card riser is faulty.
Yeah. Right, apparently that is booted somewhere. Oh yeah, if it has booted to the card riser, did I plug that back in? Yes, I did. Yeah, because if it wasn't plugged in, the VGA light would come on, but we do have onboard graphics. So, is the onboard graphics working? Let's find out. If it is, I may have just destroyed my quite expensive GPU. Hello, McFly.
Don't think you got high blood pressure now, have you? Just that was before, wasn't it?
Yeah, I don't think so. Right, for some reason I don't got anything. That's plugged in. That's plugged in.
Risers are always suspect.
But it shouldn't be the riser because it's actually displaying an image somewhere because the motherboard thinks it's booted.
Skystalker, Mike, did you check the riser cable? It came out a bit.
No, I didn't. I may have to. Although actually for this part it doesn't really need it. I can investigate that later. But what I can try is to see if this front doodad actually works now. So we've got the buttons on the side. So in theory, which one is it? Should be if I press and hold that, it changes something, but it's not doing it.
Bravo Rocket says, computer says no.
Computer says, Where's the button? Ah, there we go. Right, so that is changing the outer pattern. So you can see the colour in the middle is still the same. Alright, so yeah, that changes the style. And that one changes the colour. So you can change what the outer ring does. And then the bottom one, if I can reach it, my arm pitches will allow. So you can change that as well.
Hey, Baba.
Change various colours. I think if you press the two together, it goes into sync mode.
Not bison.
No. Alright, yeah, so you press that, hold the button, it then flashes, so that's back on motherboard control now. But anyway, it appears to work, even though the PC doesn't. It must have gone into BIOS because that... let's try again. Could be me. Alright, that's better. There we go. Got a BIOS screen now. I think I just didn't plug it into the GPU properly. That is plugged in properly now. I probably plugged it into a display port because I'm a moron. But anyway, that is working. So I didn't break stuff. Hey. CPU, yeah, those settings are right. Happy days. Right, let me see if I can control these buttons by actually seeing them on this side. Because it's much easier to control buttons on a case when you can actually see what you're doing. So yeah, that is the inside loopy bit. So actually, if I do, can I turn that one off? Yeah, so if I set that to white for the outside ring, and set it to color, where's white? Come on. So there we go, white. And then I can change the inner arc. Change that to white as well. So that's in flashing mode. You can have, there's one that says volume, so whatever's playing on the PC, but obviously we're not doing that at the moment, so it's a bit hard to do. But yeah, you can have all those chase effects, or just solid if you want. So it's pretty handy if you want to do that sort of thing with your PC. You want a bit of manual control if your motherboard doesn't have any built-in addressable RGB. I'm pretty sure if you press, is it those two together? Is it those two together? Right. I give up. There you go, back to motherboard control. So there you go. Anyway, it works. I'm happy, moderately, as happy as you can be when you're a slightly elderly, slightly stumpy, slightly sweaty, fat old bloke.
With holes in the armpit.
With holes in my armpitches.
For the arms to go in.
Make sure my Thermaltake logo's got the right way. But yeah, I think that's worked out quite nicely. Got a nice bit of colour there, and the airflow coming down through there is kind of nice. I think in hindsight I'd have liked the graphics card to have gone back just maybe one slot, which I can do. There is a mounting place for that to actually be able to be done, so I might do that at a later date. Just take it out and move it back just one. But overall, it's much better, and obviously we've got no GPU sag at all now, which is excellent stuff. Plenty of airflow in there. Nicely done. Right, let's zoom that out slightly. Move that round a bit. Sorry about the seasickness. That's pretty level. Okie dokie. Right, let's turn that off. Good night, Irene. And unplug his VU. Let's get this thing off the table. Because I'm sick of seeing it up here. Oh, tell you what, if I unplug the power cord, before I move it.
How heavy was it with paracord?
About 5 kilos heavier. Well, it wasn't any different until I got to the end of the length of the cable, and then it becomes suddenly considerably heavier. Right, let's move this screen round so I can actually see what people are saying. Ugh. Glasses are under the case. Right, where's my tea? Cheers, Dave Hall. Thanks for stopping by. Oh. Tell you what, let's get my USB dongle out of the other PC and put it into this PC. I have got a keyboard and mouse which will do multiple inputs, but I don't know why I should use it. Okay. Brandon says, Mike, the CPU light is still on. Okay, I will see what I can do. Head over into our Discord chat. Not be a great deal I can do here. I probably need you to, if there's somebody in our Discord and you're on, you can watch this now, and you're a moderator or member status or whatever, can you make Brandon a member so you can post images? Post your images of your motherboard, the setup, into Tech Support 1 or Tech Support 2, whichever is free, and yeah, get on and do that. And we will we'll see what we can figure out. One Cav Viper, when will those t-shirts you are wearing be available? They are available via our Discord. Well, there's various ways. On Patreon, if you're a Patreon member in the t-shirt crew, you get one free after your first month's subscription.
On certain levels.
On the t-shirt one, isn't it?
Yeah, I can't remember what it's called.
I can't think what it's called, but it's on Patreon. You can get it there. Alternatively, you can go to our Discord, go into the merch room, and there's links in there. You can just PM or DM me or Kath, and we'll arrange one for you. They're very inexpensive. We are limited on sizes, I think, at the moment in t-shirts. There are, I think it's mostly extra large we've got at the moment. Maybe some extra large as well. But yeah, if you want a t-shirt, one of these with the embroidered logos, you can't buy these anywhere other than directly from us because they are made specially for us. The ones that you can see underneath the YouTube videos, etc., they're a different t-shirt altogether. But I quite like these. They're quite nice. They last as well. They're not the best cotton. They're a blend, but they seem to last well. And I'll be completely honest with you. I've had this one on for days now. Literally every morning, just chuck it on, it's fine, and it's great. Love it. So yeah, if you want one, they do last well and they wash well. This one's been washed numerous times and still pretty black, and the embroidery is absolutely solid. Normally they crumple up on a lot of them, but they do some really nice backings. They come from Workwear Express. They're really good t-shirts. David Andrew says, something is happening. A few Apache choppers flying over my house. That's never a good sign. O'Reilly says, all the t-shirts I have for Mike are super great at keeping me warm. Yeah, they're pretty decent t-shirts, to be fair. The company we get them from, they make them for the main dealers for car places like Jaguar,
Asda.
Yeah, Asda shop workers, Walmart, all those kind of big brands that buy lots of t-shirts and stuff in bulk. They get it from the same company, and they get it because they're long lasting, heavy duty, they're good stuff. So yeah, they're pretty good. And the ones we sell ourselves, we basically don't make any money apart from cover and postage. That's about it. Oh, and obviously the price of the t-shirt.
Sorry, I can't get to my keyboard favour.
Okie dokie. Oh yeah, Cap's put a Discord link in there, so if you're not a Discord member already, you should be. So yeah, I think that is, Davo Rocket, sorry, I just seen that. I'm considering that case without RGB, would you recommend? Yes, I would recommend it, but just bear in mind what sort of build you're going to put in it. If you're going for a vertical GPU,
Dave falls off.
it's not, oh yeah, I did say that just now.
Sorry.
It isn't the easiest to work in for a vertical mount. If you're going for a traditional horizontal mount, no worries at all. It's very, very easy to build in. It's a decent case overall. I like it. It's just the like that additional RGB mount thing, the cable just being a little bit too short is a little bit of an oversight. It's not the end of the world, but it is like you might want to buy yourself a small extension just to make it to wherever it needs to go. But over than that, it's yeah, it's a good case. To be honest, if it wasn't a decent case, I wouldn't use it for my daily driver, for my video editing PC, because I've got the choice of numerous cases, and that is the one which my PC has stayed in for one of the longest times, actually. Although, having said that, if it wasn't for the fact that the Series 500 has the USBs on the side, I would probably use the Series 500 or 300, just because I prefer it, and it's a little bit easier to work in. And obviously, for me, I do swap out stuff quite a lot. Like moving stuff around for testing purposes. I can't always use that PC, so I use this one. So having it nice and easy to work on, being able to take a graphics card out nice and easily, is reasonably key for me. But for a lot of people, they just build it and forget it. So yeah, if you're one of those people, it's a great case. And it's actually good value for money and it's well made. Can't go wrong with it, really. Here McLeod says, now swap out the motherboard for a rebuild. I am, because I've said it out loud now that I don't want to do a rebuild, I probably will get offered a DDR5 board. I'm hoping MSI will offer up some of their new 790s. I would really like to swap out to one of those, but I don't think it's going to happen.
And you know they want it back after.
Yeah, if they say you can have it for a limited time, but we want it back, it's like, no. If it goes in that case, I'm keeping it. I don't care. I'm not going for all that again. Anyway, I think that is going to wrap things up. I've gone on a little bit way longer than I should have done, but we did get to where we needed to be, so that was awesome. So I would like to say thank you to everybody who has participated tonight, because without you, this is just me talking to the lens, or Kath, because she's directly behind it, so either one. But it's nice to have you guys along for the ride. Also, thank you all for the super chats and the donations. Much appreciated. Memberships, all that kind of stuff. We will, well, I would like to be able to do some more merch this year as we run up to Christmas, especially as it's getting colder and I want to actually wear more stuff myself. So maybe some more hoodies will be in the pipeline. So if you're interested in that sort of thing, do let us know. And we've got the hoodie, not the hoodies, the beanies, but we're also thinking about the snow hats as well. So basically the beanie with like the ball on top as well. I think they're quite fun and a little bit different. So if you're interested in one of those as well, let us know in the Discord or in the chat in this video. If you're watching this as the video on demand and you've got all the way to the end, first of all, congratulations and thank you, you lunatic. And potentially by the time you've watched this, Poppy might have had her kittens, so you never know. Actually, no, a hat with a bobble on is probably a bad idea with kittens around, isn't it? Because they'll be going nuts for that.
Okay, for your nut, innit?
Yeah, that's true. Anyway,
it's not very bobbly though, is it?
I'm dithering on. So, awesome stuff. Thank you very much. Thanks for joining us, and we will catch you in the next video on Monday, which promises to be a rather interesting one. So if you're into your wireless keyboards and mice, keep a lookout for that one. And if you've got any ideas of things you would like to see done in a video, please let us know. Preferably, if you can, over in our Discord. There is a room specifically for that, so you can go in and go into the video suggestions and put your ideas in there, put links to products which you like or you think would be interesting to be reviewed on the channel. Because, like I said, it's getting to the point where I am really struggling to find things which I think are going to be interesting for everyone.
And worthwhile.
And actually worthwhile doing.
Doesn't have to be tech stuff.
Yeah, not necessarily, it doesn't have to be tech. You can do toasters if you want, I don't care. Yeah, that's about it. So, thank you all for watching, and we'll catch you in the next video.
Thank you.
Bye! I'm knackered now. I'm absolutely knackered. Oh, where are we? I can't remember what buttons to press. Does anybody know what buttons I press? Help. Oh yeah, I found it. Night everyone, see you in the next one. Have a great rest of the weekend, and hopefully it's not going to be too chilly tomorrow. But if you are in Bristol and you want to come and get some antifreeze or de-icer, pop in and see me in the shop tomorrow and come and say hello. And on that bombshell, see you in the next one.